is of such a nature that as time goes on, it tends to be more sharper. Did I understand you well?
Ngabe ngikuzwe kahle yini ukuthi indlela ke okukhumbula ngayo noma ke mase sebenzisa igama lesilungu ke imemory yakho ukukhumbula kwakho ukuthi ke iya nje iba ngcono ngokuhamba kwesikhathi?
Angeke ngikwazi ukuphawula kuleso statement sakho wena ubona indlela yakho obona ngayo le.
I wouldn't be in a position or able to comment on that statement. That is your view.
I gleaned this from what you said yesterday, that even after 25 years, after the occurrence of this incident or so, or a number of years or so after the occurrence of this incident, you'd still be able to remember what actually happened there.
Ngikusho lokho ke kuyinto oyishilo izolo ukuthi noma ngaze ke noma ngasemuva kwe 20 years ukusukela manje uze angeke ukhohlwe lokho.
Njengoba sengishilo izolo ukuthi lokho kwenzekile beku traumatic kakhulu. So as far as I know, ingqondo yami angeke ikwazi ukudedela kalula lokho.
As I said, that what happened was very traumatic, and my mind wouldn't just be able to let go of that.
Would that also include the identity of the people, of the perpetrators, of the two perpetrators who got into your house that day?
Lokho ngahlanganisa noma kufaka futhi abantu labo ababili abangena noma abangenela ngaloba busuku.
Yebo mnjani?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Now, in terms of that trait, I would take it that you are telling this court that you will also not forget how the perpetrator who was in possession of the firearm on the day in question looked like.
Kulokho ke ngithatha ukuthi ke awungeke futhi umkhohlweke nalona owayephethe isibhamu indlela ke awayebukeka ngayo.
Kunjani?
That's correct.
Thank you. And this you are basing on the description of how he looked like that you have already told this court about.
Ukusho lokho ke kuloko obosokutshele inkantolo vele ukuthi ke waye kanjani noma wayebukeka kanjani.
Yebo njani?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Now, on the basis of just this, what we've spoken about, would you be in a position, in an event that you see the perpetrator who had a firearm on that day in question, when you happen to come across the street or anywhere else, would you be able to identify him?
Uma ngabe lona ke owayephethe isibhamu ngaleli langa ngenzeka ke ukuthi uhlangane nje naye emgwaqeni noma ikuphi nendawo ungasho ukuthi uyena lo.
Njengoba sengishilo izolo ukuthi njengoba seku 8 years to 9 years, over time abanye abantu ba gain weight, abanye ba gain complexion, abanye bayayiluza.
As I've already said that it has been 8 years to 9 years. People, others gain weight, others get a complexion, others lose that complexion.
Abanye baphinde bashintsha ama hairstyle.
Others change hairstyles.
Kodwa umuntu mawuke wahlangana naye esigamekweni esifana nalesiya, igazi nemizwa nakho konke okusemzimbeni kuyasho.
But in a situation or an incident like that, when then you meet that person again, the blood, the feelings, the body just tells.
Now, I'm getting a bit confused when you say the blood, the feeling, and the body just tells. Would you explain that a bit?
Mungachaza nje lokho ngoba kunokungidida ke uma ukhuluma ngegazi, imizwa, umzimba.
Njengoba ngisho nje baba ukuthi sinama emotions. Into eke wafika endaweni ethile yenzeka kuwena, especially of that magnitude. Khona into eyenzekayo emzimbeni. Angeke ngikwazi ukuyichaza ukuthi njani, but ikhona into eyenzakalayo.
As I've already said, to say that we've got emotions, And once something of that magnitude happens, and once you encounter it again, that it just tells. But I can't explain to you as to how, but the body just tells.
I'm still in the dark, but I don't want to make an issue out of this now. But the question was, would you be in a position to identify the first intruder who had a firearm in his possession according to your house on that day? I think that was my question.
Umbuzo wami ke usamile wona ke kuwena ke ukuba ukuthi uma ngabe ungambona futhi loya owayephethe isibhamu ngaleli langa ungamkhomba yini uthi uyena lo?
Yebo ngamkhomba.
Yes, I would be in a position.
Thank you. Now, you have used a very interesting, in the interview that you had, that was played here at court yesterday, you used a very interesting way. You're saying the police were fishing in the same pond. They kept on fishing in the same pond for over more than 7 to 8 years.
Kunaleli gama ke olisebenzisile ke interview izolo ke uzochaza ngale ndlela asho ngayo ke ngesilungu ukuthi amaphoyisa afisha kuphonde yodwa noma abheke nje kuhlangothi olodwa kuphela isikhathi esingango 7 to 8 years.
Would you then agree with me that in that 7 or 8 years where the police were fishing, they threw in a net hoping to come out, or hoping that that net will come out with the person who you identified as a first intruder, and up until now, the first intruder who had a firearm, and up until now, their net keep on coming empty in respect of the first intruder?
Please, my lord, I really don't understand the purpose of that question.
Correct. The fact that the police have been investigating for 20 years in the same pond. She says 8 years. It doesn't follow that if they don't find what they are looking for, then it's consequently could be said it is impossible ever.
I don't understand the basis of the objection, my lord.
Repeat your question, then he will tell you why he objects. Maybe.
Thank you, my lord. Ma'am, on the basis of what you have just said, with regard to the police fishing in the same pond for almost 7 years, would you agree with me that after they casted their net in this pond that you spoke about for a period of 7 years, the police had not been able, up until now, to come out with a person who you would identify as the first person or the first perpetrator who got into the house who had a firearm in his possession?
That's precisely the objection, my lord, that the accused have been arrested. It's for the court to make that determination. It's not for the witness to make that determination.
Why do you say, will you agree with me? Yeah, that's the problem with your question. That if it is for 7 or 8 years,
yes,
in that period that the police were fishing in the same pond, it means that they will never arrest the person who he was able to identify as the first suspect. Just listen to the logic in that submission. You are actually making the statement. You say, will you agree with me?
Yes, madam.
She's not making that statement.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yes.
That's the problem.
I am saying this, my lord, that based on her testimony, that up until now, as I am cross-examining her,
Yeah.
and she's answering my question, the police have not been able to bring to court a person that she would say, this is the person that I saw on the 26th of October 2014, who was in possession of a firearm
Okay, let's hear. What's your comment, man?
So, kuze kube manje ke kuloko okushoyo ke uthi amaphoyisa ke ebheke uhlangothi olodwa kuleyo 7 to 8 years amaphoyisa ke akakezi ke ngaphambili noma ezenkantolo athi ke nanguke lo muntu lo omchaza wena ke nanjengaloya owumsolo wokuqala owayephethe isibhamu ngaleli yalanga nge 26 ka October 2014.
Okokuqala mangisho ngithi amaphoyisa abefisha kupond eyodwa angibuzi ngani ukuthi ngikhuluma ngayiphi pond before speculate ukuthi ngikhuluma ngayiphi.
Firstly, when I make that statement that the police are fishing or are fishing in the same pond, why then don't you ask me what is it that I'm referring to or what pond am I talking about before speculating?
Oh, you want clarity from me? I thought that was your answer.
No.
Oh, you want clarity? Okay, no,
Yes.
thanks, man. It is immaterial what pond were you referring to. You're talking about the pond that the police will go into when they dip their net with a view that their net will come out with a person who you would have come to court and say, this is the person that I saw on that day who had a firearm in his possession.
Ukuthi ke yipi pond wena okhuluma ngayo ke akusona ke udaba lolo kodwa okubalekile noma kusemqoka ke ukuthi ile pond yona ke amaphoyisa azothatha inet noma umnatha wawo ke awuphonse kuyona uma eseyibuyisa noma esebuya nayo leyo net leyo ashoke ukuthi sibuyile nayo futhi nanguke umuntu lo wena ke okhuluma ngaye othi yilo woqala umsola owayephethe isibhamu.
Now, the gist of my question is...
Don't make it long.
Oh, okay.
Ngiyabona ukuthi asitholani kahle mina nawe.
I see that you are missing each other myself.
Noma mhlambe awilalelanga kahle video. Angazi ukuthi iyona yiphi inkinga lapho but into ebengiyichaza ke just so ukuthi siyatholana.
Okay, asibambe lapho. Maybe you didn't listen to the video properly, but I don't know which one is it. But so that the two of us are on the same page, yebo.
Ngaleso sikhathi bekune docket ephumile ekhuluma ngokuthi thina sesiyama suspects.
At the time,
Understand?
there was a docket that came out that said that we were suspects.
And leyo nto ibilokhu iqhubeka isikhathi eside. Size
Sorry.
sibize sizothothara sizofaka ku lie detector test senziwe zonke lezo zinto lezo beyilento bengiyisho.
And that went on for a long time, where we were called, we were tortured, we were made to undergo through a lie detector test. That is what I was talking about or referring to.
In other words, kusho ukuthi bekubonakala thina singama suspect yet we are just witnesses.
In other words, we were seen as suspects, yet we were witnesses.
So ngangicela nje ukuthi amaphoyisa akakanwebe ekwezinye indawo abheke kwezinye indawo kuzo bazothola umphumela.
So I was just requesting or asking for the police to just stretch to other areas or to other places as well to get the result.
Njengoba ke sebewutholile umphumela.
Now that they have found the results.
Thank you, ma'am. Me and you are on the same page.
Angiboni kahle.
I don't see like that.
On the basis of what you've just said now, that you requested the police to extend their scope of search. They should not just limit themselves into a particular pond. They need to go to other ponds as well. Indeed, they did that. Now, the gist of my question is, therefore, would you then agree with me that in their endeavor, upon your request that they should do so, they have still not yet brought a person that you would identify as the person who had a firearm in his possession that day? That is simply the gist of my question.
Sorry, ma'am.
We don't want to belabor the point, but this is precisely the issue that this court is seized with, that the court has got to determine after the conspectus of all the evidence. It's not for this witness to say that, my lord. With respect, we think the question is inappropriate.
But the witness actually is referring to herself, according to her explanation. She says because the police were having a second docket, which presupposed that they, meaning herself and others, were being interrogated, put through lie detectors, tortured, that they suspected her also as being, amongst others, the person who entered the house with a gun, because unless there is a supposition that there was no person shot at that house. But if the cross-examination, as I listened to it, it's not disputed that a person was shot in that house, and she was in that house with her mother, Kelly, and others. Now she is saying they were also regarded as suspects. So that pond in which they were fishing was, according to her, not the correct pond, because she regarded herself as a witness. That's our understanding.
Yes, but counsel has now moved a step further, and he says after the police, after having fished in that different pond, they haven't come up with someone that she can identify as the first suspect. Now
Okay.
we are saying
No,
that
fine,
is,
yeah, fine.
that is inappropriate. It's for this court to determine that.
You can keep that for cross-examination because it's argumentative as you are. You are arguing with the witness as you are aware now.
As it is the court, I can understand, ma'am. I realize that there's a bit of a problem with this question. Let us conclude it.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me conclude it by saying that I put it to you that up until this point, the police, in terms of their investigation, let us exclude the pond thing. In terms of their investigation, they have not yet come up with a person that you would stand up there and say, I have met that person, I've seen that person, or I'm seeing that person who had a firearm in possession, who had a firearm in his possession that day. That's all.
Engizokusho kuwena ukuthi amaphoyisa ke akakezike ngaphambili nomuntu ekuphenyeni nje kwabo nomuntu ongabusukuma kule ndawo ohlezi kuyona noma uhlezi khona kuyona umkhombeke uthi uyena lo ngambona ngiyamazi uyena owayephethe ispam ngaloba busuku.
Njengoba sihleli la sonke siyabona ukuthi njengoba u5 behlezi lapha akekho ama dreadlocks. So mhlambe maningabafaka ama dreadlocks abanye nibanikeze complexion abebe nayo mhlambe 8 years ago kwazi ba ukuthi kungaphumani.
As we can all see, as we are seated here, that there are 5 of them seated there, and we can see that none of them has got dreadlocks. But if we were to put dreadlocks on one of them, and then the complexion that they had 8 years ago, who knows what may come out?
Futhi kwesibili babili abantu abangena endlini and right now ngibona abantu abawu5. So ukuthi bangena kanjani I think leso singayekela amaphoyisa.
And there were 2 intruders in the house, and here we see 5 people. As to how that came about, that we can leave to the police.
And of course the evidence iketholakele.
As well as the evidence that was found.
Yes, ma'am. No, I ideally respect that. But finally, you are unable to see any person who had a firearm or one of the intruders who had a firearm on that day.
Kodwa ke okugcina ke ukho kusimo sokuthi uyambona noma ungambona olona owayephethe ispam ngaleli yalanga.
Okwamanje ngiseneyintsolo kodwa ngifuni ukukhomba umuntu wabantu ngeinsolo.
For now, I only have suspicions. I do not want to point out the poor person based on suspicions.
Thank you. Now let us try to go back to the scene. You say Dumelo had a POP, not so? That is a plaster of Paris, not so?
Uthi ke uThumelo wayene POP.
Concord, cement.
Eh?
He had a plaster of Paris.
I think ukhuluma ngoKhongolo.
Yebo kunjalo.
That's correct.
Yes.
Sekhuwa.
Oh, or he had a cement, or he had a plaster caster. I'm told, yes.
Yeah, hayi sesidlala ngamagama akhe manje. Ikona nje lokho.
Yes. Now, you say at some point he also joined in the tussle, which we'll get to a few minutes later, that happened in the house. How did he manage to do that?
Uthi naye ke waba ingxenye la leyo tussle.
Paris Gila, and I think ikhothi yakubona lokho. uDumelo uyena ongakwazi ukuchaza futhi uyena owazi ukuthi ipain yakhe ibika kangakanani and ukuhamba kwakhe without ama crashes akhe kum enable kangakanani lokho, but otherwise angikwazi ukumkhulumela.
I'm unable to speak for him, and I think the court can also see that I am not Dumelo as I'm seated here. He's the one who will be able to tell as to how far he could walk and how the pain or his pain, how did it enable him.
When he joined the tussle, did he use his crutch or he just walked without the crutch?
Uma ke eba ingxenye yaleyo tussle lokho kulwa lokho okwakwenzeka ke endlini wayehamba ngecrutch ngama-crutch noma wayehambela nje ngaphandle kwawo.
Anginakanga kodwa into engikhumbula ukuthi elilodwa lakhona lalilapha phansi.
I didn't notice, but what I do remember or recall is that one of the crutches was on the floor.
How many crutches was he using?
Wayesebenzisa mangaki?
Ayimabili.
2.
So at the time when you fetched him from the N3 off ramp, he was using 2 crutches, not so?
Ngenkathi enanimthatha ngayo ke noma nim pick up ke kwi off ramp N3 wayehamba wayesebenzisa wona O2.
Yebo kunjani?
Yes, that's correct.
And at the time when he alighted from the vehicle upon arrival at your home, when he got into the house, he also used 2 crutches, not so?
Nangenkathi senifika ke ekhaya esehla ke emotweni ngena phakathi endlini wangena ehamba ngawo O2.
Yebo njani?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you know what happened to the other crutch?
Uyazi ukuthi enye kwenzekani ngayo?
Angazi.
I don't know.
Kodwa engikwazi ukuthi emva kweni emalangeni mayiseqhubeka futhi uhamba ngawo omabili.
But what I do know that as the days went by or went on, that he was using both of them.
Thank you. Now, at the time of the commotion in the house, when he stood up, did he use the crutches to assist you in pushing one of the perpetrators into the kitchen?
Kodwa ke ngesikhathi bisukuma ke endlini senibadudula ke nibadudulela ekitchen laba abawu2 abangena, ingabe ke uma ekwenza lokho ke sukuma ehamba ekitchen nibadudula wayesebenzisa crutch noma ama crutch?
Ngicela understand we advocate ukuthi nganganakile uDumelo mina. Ngiyawubhiza ngibuza imibuzo ngoDumelo, cha ngangabhekile uDumelo, ngangenelwa isigebengu endlini bese ucabanga ukuthi uzobheka umuntu ohamba ngama crash uphethe elilodwa noma uphethe amabili.
Advocate, please understand the following, that I wasn't concentrating on Dumelo. Is it or can it be that you having intruders and now you are concentrating on someone, whether the person is on his crutches or not? My focus wasn't there.
That is understood, ma'am. But please, we also in a position that we should understand what actually happened in the house. And it is unfortunate that part of our understanding or the means through which we can only understand what happened in the house is through your testimony.
Ngiyakuzwa ke lokho okushoyo ke, kodwa nakuthina ke ukuthi indlela nje esifisa ukuthi sazi ngayo ke lokho okwenzeka ke lokho singakwenza ke ngobufakazi bakho.
Ngiyakuzwa.
I understand.
Thank you. And you'll also further note that in your evidence in chief, you also mentioned Dumelo several times And it also came from you that he had the plaster caster in one of his legs. Do you understand?
Okunye ke futhi ozokwazi ke ukuthi igama lika Dumelo ke ulichazile noma ke ulishilo kaningi kubufakazi bakho naloko ukuthi futhi wayefake ukhonkolo.
Ngiyakuzwa lokho kodwa kusho ukuthi phela ngangihleli ngidadisha uDumelo.
I hear you, but that doesn't mean that I just kept on focusing or studying Dumelo.
So your final word on this one is you do not know how he got to involve in the tussle, whether he used a crutch or not, but all that you know is that he also was part of the people who were trying to push the gunman to the kitchen.
Impendulo yakhe yokugcina ke kukona ke lokho ukuthi okwaziyo nje ukuthi yebo wayeyingxenye ke yaloko kwenzeka ukuthi nasukuma nabadudula nabase kitchen kodwa ke ukuthi wayesebenzisa icrash noma ama crash lokho awukwazi. Yes, that's correct.
Thank you, man. Now you are seated in the dining room. When I say you, I mean all the occupants that you've referred to in your evidence in chief. You are seated in the dining room, and as you were seated, in the sitting room, as you were seated there, two strange people get into the house.
Manje ke nihlezi nonke ngikhuluma ngani nonke ke nihlezi lapha yana ke dining room sitting room nisahlezi kanjalo ke kungena labantu abawu2 eningabazi.
Not so?
Kunjalo.
Yebo.
Yes, that's correct.
Then one of them says he produces a firearm in front of you, and he says money and cell phones, but he's saying that in Zulu.
Oyedwa ke kubona wakhipha ispam wasethi ke khiphani imali nama cell phones ekusho lokho ngesizulu.
Yebo.
Yes, that's correct.
Then Longwe jumps up, he pushes this person, he dashes out of the house.
Wasesukuma ke noma ejumpa ke uLongwe uya kulomuntu uyampusha wase yena ephuma endlini uLongwe.
Yebo.
Yes, that's correct.
Immediately thereafter, you, meaning all of you, then stood up and you also pushed the person towards the kitchen.
Nase nisukuma ke ngisho nina ke abaseleke manje endlini nasukuma namdudula ukuye kitchen.
Yebo.
Yes, that's correct.
I've tried to fathom, I've tried to imagine how this pushing could have happened, but up until now, I'm failing. So, and then I said to myself, I don't need to struggle about this because there's a witness who said there was a pushing, and I'm going to request her, which I'm doing now, to explain to this court how this pushing actually happened.
Ngizamileke ukuthi lento idlala emqondweni yami noma ngicabangeke kodwa ke angiphumelelanga ekwenzeni lokho ngase ngithi ke cha ukhona ufakazi uba uyena ke okhuluma ngako lokuphusha lokho ukuthi alichaze nje le pushing ukuthi yenzeka kanjani.
Yes.
So okokuqala ke njengoba ngisho ukuthi sasihleli phansi and then uLongwe wasukuma wayesephusha lo wokuqala phambili wama-dreads. Ukumphusha kwakhe akamphushanga phezulu, but uyabona ku rugby ukuthi mabephusha nabenza njani ku rugby, if you watch rugby angazi, but wamphusha kanjalo but on a lower part of his body, and then waluza i-balance loyo wahlehla wayemuva between udongo lase toilet nase kitchen.
As I said, that Longwe stood up and then pushed this person. And he didn't push him on the upper part of his body.
Yes.
If you do watch rugby, I don't know, you see how they would do, but they refer to as the scrum or how they push in the rugby. That is what I mean.
Okay.
And then this person lost balance and moved to the middle of the wall. Udongo lase kitchen.
Udongo lase kitchen ne bathroom.
As well as the bathroom.
Yes.
Yebo, makhuleka.
And then makusenjalo angithi lo wesibili ubese eminyango we bedroom ebhekane nekhishi, and then wonke umuntu mayisukuma saqala ngalo ola emnyango ophusha umnyango kakheli, and then sabadudula bonke saya nabekitchen ukuthi kodwa ubani wayehamba phambili angikho sure.
And then the second one is the one that was now at the door of the bedroom. And so when we stood up, we started with the one that was at the bedroom door and we pushed both of them. As to who was in front, I am not certain.
Now, as you push them, did they resist the pushing? Just try to paint a clearer picture to the court. What was their reaction? They just gave up when you pushed them? They were resisting, or what was the position?
Engifisa ukwazi ke manje ukuthi nanjengoba nibaphusha njena ke bayavuma ukuphushwa noma ke baya nabo ke bayalwa kwakwenzekani reaction yabo yayithini nanjengoba nibaphusha nje.
Bazama ukulwa kodwa sasibaningi.
They tried to fight or to try to resist, but we were many, or there were many of us.
Fight? How did they try to fight? Did they try to push you back? I don't want to put words in your mouth. You see, that's my problem. So, but I just wanted to come from you. How this pushing thing happened. This
Uma uthi bazama ke ukulwa ingaba nabo nanithi nibaphusha nabo benipusha back ngizama nje uunderstanda ukuthi lokuphusha lokwenzeka kanjani.
Njengoba sengishilo ukuthi kwakungemina engangiphambili njengoba ngisho ukuthi ngangise egcineni kanye noTumelo uyangizwa. So ukuthi baphusha bayalwa maniphusha nje nokunilwa niyale mningi action oyenzakala lapha yana. So I can't say precisely ukuthi waphakamisa isandla wasehlisa wasisa phansi wasisa phezulu cha ngangaki record wonke lokho.
As I said that in all of that myself and Dumelo were at the back. So I am in no position to say as to how they did that, because when there's this fighting or pushing, there is a lot of action that is happening. I'm in no position to say that they would raise his hand, put his hand down. I cannot give that detail.
Okay, no, thank you, man. Now, ultimately the pushing ended up or got stopped, or it stopped at the point where both perpetrators, now that's according to your testimony, both perpetrators or intruders landed with their backs at the kitchen door or on the kitchen door.
Kwase kuma ke lokho ke noma kusengasaqhubekike uma bobabili ke manje sebefika noma sekufika ke kwisivalo sase kitchen bobabili ke manje sebeze ngemihlane yabo esivalweni.
Mawuthi kwakuphele lapho uchaza ukuthini?
When you say that it stopped, what do you mean?
No, I mean when they were being pushed, they were pushed up to the kitchen door, where they landed with their backs on the kitchen door.
Ngithi ke baphushwa baze bayofikelela ke emnyango laba bezeleke umnyango ngemihlane yabo.
Yebo njani?
Yes, that's correct.
And upon landing with their backs on the kitchen door, that would mean that their faces were facing towards the greater portion of the house.
Usho ukuthi ke uma bemi kanjalo ke bona ke laba babheke indlu le noma babheke phakathi endlini.
Yebo njani?
Yes, that's correct.
Was there assault in the process of the pushing?
Kuloku phusha lokhu kwakukhona ukushaya okwakukhona.
Kwakukhona ukushaya ngendlela ethile.
In some manner, yes, there was some assault.
Can you tell this court about it? Who was hitting who? And how?
Awutshela inkantolo kwakubani eshaya bani.
Njengoba sengichazile ukuthi nami ngazama ukushaya. NoTumelo wayesethatha icrash kumina kwawuyena okwazi ukufikela ukuthi ashaye. So kwabanye abantu angazi ukuthi umuntu yena washaya kanjani. Nakhona futhi ngakunakile lokho.
As I've already said that I tried to assault and then Dumelo took the crash from me and assaulted. And as to with regard to the other people, I cannot say who assaulted how because I wasn't noticing or didn't take note of that.
Thank you. Let me put it this way. Before the two perpetrators were ultimately pushed towards the door, that is, in other words, before they could be pushed to the door, before they could arrive at the door, did any assault take place?
Ngaphambi kokuthi bafikeke emnyango ingaba khona ukushaya okwenzeka.
Njengoba sengishilo ukuthi ngangingekho phambili ngangisegcineni so angibonanga.
As I've already said, that I was not in front, I was right at the back, so I didn't see.
Thank you. Now, as the perpetrators were being pushed, what's their position? Were they walking towards the door? Were they walking with their back towards the door? What is their position?
Nanjengoba babepushwa ke ingaba babehamba ke ukuya eminyango behamba ke noma bezele isivalo lesi ngomhlanje njengoba besiya nje bepushwa beminyango.
Babehlehla.
They were retreating.
Were there any swearing there?
Bakhona ukuthuka okwakukhona?
Ngikuzwaka.
I didn't hear it.
Were you not swearing at them?
Wawungabathuki?
Angithuki mina.
I don't swear.
When I say you, I don't mean specifically you, I mean your group. I'm going to use the word your group, referring those occupants who were in the house before the arrival of the two perpetrators.
Uma ngithi angisho wena ke mayisebenzisa le gama ka you ke ukhuluma ngathi abebephakathi ke endlini.
Hayi angisakhumbula.
I can't recall.
Thank you. And upon landing with their backs at the door, the assault on them then continued. Oh, let me put it this way. Upon them landing with their backs on the kitchen door, what then happened?
Sebefikile ke manje bameke eminyango ke babheke phakathi endlini kwase kwenzekani ke lapho.
Engikukhumbulayo ukuthi suspect number 1 noSenzo babe dressilela isibhamu while mina ngizama ukushaya lo omunye ngecrash ngasafinyeleli noDumelo. Abanye angisakhumbuli kahle ukuthi babenzani ngempela ngempela.
What I do recall is the first suspect wrestling with the deceased for the firearm, and then myself trying to assault the second suspect together with Dumelo. As with regards to the others, I cannot remember.
Thank you. Now, you have told this court that you were pushing from the back, and because some of the people who were trying to assault these intruders were taller than you, you could not successfully hit the person that or the intruder that you wanted to hit with a crash, not so?
Shiloko ukuthi nanjengoba kwenzeka le pushing ke nokuthi abanye ke babantu ke laba babekhona ke lapho babe bade kunawe lokho ke kwakuvimba ekuthini ke ushaye lo owufuna ukumshaya.
Yep.
Yes.
And this is the reason why Dumelo then took the crash from you and assaulted or tried to assault or hit the second perpetrator there with.
Ileso sizathu ke esabangela ukuthi uDumelo abe seyithatha kuwena ke icrash leyo ashaye noma afune ukushaya ke lo owesibili.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, in your quest or in your endeavor to try and assault this perpetrator with the crash, the second perpetrator with the crash, did he just stand there? Did he try to ward off the blows? Did he try to move away from the blows? What is their position?
Kulokho ke ukuthi uzame noma nizama uzama ukushaya lona ke owesibili ke ngayo icrash ingaba wayemile nje kuphela noma ke ezama ukuthi avimbe noma yina wayeyenza kuloko ukuthi wawuzama ukuthi umshaye ngecrash leyo.
Kwesinye isikhathi wayezama ukuvika, kwesinye isikhathi naye azama ukushaya futhi.
At times he would try to ward off the assault. At times he would also try to assault himself. He himself would also try to assault.
When you say, like, when you try to assault, what do you mean by that? Was he trying to assault you?
Owayephambi kwakhe.
The one that was in front of him.
How did he attempt to do that? How did he try to assault him?
Ekwenza kanjani lokho?
Mangisho njalo kuningi okubekwenzeka laphayana, so I can't really specify ukuthi wayifinga incindi noma wayiphakamisa noma washaya ama-low blows cha angikwazi ukukusho.
When I say that, I'm in no position to give a description as to whether he had, it was with his fist, it was trying to hit with low blows. I cannot tell.
Kodwa
Because there was a lot that was happening there.
kodwa kwakuliwa.
But there was fighting.
Thank you, ma'am. It's well understood. You know, the reason why I'm asking this is because I think my colleague for accused number 1 and 2 asked you whether the second perpetrator had anything in his possession, and then you said you did not see anything. Did I capture you well there?
Imbangela ke ukuthi ngikubuze lokhu ingoba ke oqeda ukubuza manje ke ummeli imibuzo noma oqede izolo ke ummeli kaMsolo oqala nowesibili wakubuza noma ukubuzile ke ukuthi lo owesibili khona yini isikhali awayesiphethe kuwena wathi cha.
Yes, she said she did not see.
Wathi awuzange ukubone.
Iqiniso lelo.
That is true.
Because this is what Mthokozisi would come and tell this court. I see you smiling. This is what Mthokozisi would come and tell this court, and the state is going to call him. He would say that the second perpetrator had a firearm in his possession. I'm sorry. Had a knife in his possession.
Ngoba ke naku okuzokhulunywa uMthokozisi bazombiza ke abombuso nanjengofakazi ukuthi lo wesibili yena ke wayephethe ummese esandleni sakhe.
Okokuqala angena uMthokozisi naye uMthokozisi ubone akubonile. Nami ngize la ecourt ukuzokhuluma lokhu engikubonile. So angeke ngithathe istatement saMthokozisi ngisenze sami.
Firstly, I am not Mthokozisi. Mthokozisi will tell this court what he saw. I am here to tell this court what I saw. I won't take Mthokozisi's statement and make it mine.
And njengoba kunjena nje njengoba bengilonke ngisho lokho kushoyo angubonanga.
As I said, that which you are saying now, I didn't see.
So you are saying your version is you did not see a knife in the possession of the second perpetrator.
Wena ke okushoyo ukuthi ummese awuzange ubone uphethwe ulo wesibili ususpect.
Cha angizange ubone.
No, I didn't.
That is even at the time when your group was assaulting him and he was trying to.
Please cancel. Progress. The witness says she never saw a knife.
As it is a court, my lord. Now you are saying that because of the fact that you a little shorter and there were other people who were in front of you and you were at the back, that's your version, not so. That is now you are at the back of these other people who were in front of you when you were assaulting the second intruder.
Uthi umfushi ngoba umfishane wawusemuva futhi ke kwakunabantu abebephambi kwakho ngalesikhathi wena ke ushaya noma uzama ukushaya lona owesibili.
Yebo njalo.
Yes, that's correct.
And there was a commotion there.
Kwakho lokhu kulwisana ke noma lokhu uwrestler kwakukhona ke.
Yebo njalo.
That's correct.
Now, at what point were you then able, or were you unable to then see his face?
Manje
The
ke
second perpetrator, when you were at the back and other people were in front of you?
uma kuwukuthi ke wawusemuva kunabantu abaphambi kwakho ubuso bakhe ke ubone nini?
Njengoba bengisho naphambilini ukuthi mude ukudlula abantu abaningi abebelapha endlini.
As I earlier on or previously said that he is tall taller than the people that were in the house.
So ukumbona kwakulula kakhulu.
So it was very easy to see him.
Okwesibili, la bengihleli khona kulo position ebengihleli khona. Kwathi makuvuleka umnyango lapha. Umnyango obviously awubona ukuthi ubani ongena up until umuntu azavala umnyango. Yakhumbula ngisho lokho.
Do you remember me saying that where I was seated, the original position where I was seated, when someone opens the door, you're unable to see as to who is coming in up until the person closes the door.
Ukongeza futhi lapho labantu mabengena endlini abanokhanga. Thina lokishini mawuzongena emzini womuntu uyagokota. So ngangifuna ukwazi ukuthi ubani lo ngena onganokhile so ngapopola ngathi.
And to add on to that, in the town, these people didn't knock when they came in, and in the township, we knock when you enter someone's house. So I wanted to see who is this who is coming in without knocking, so I peeped through.
Ilapho ke ngambona khona.
That's where I saw him.
Futhi ngabona ukuthi kusho ukuthi akayedwa lo phambili babili.
And then that's where I then realized that this one that's in front is not alone, there are two.
You say the sequence in which they got into the house was that the one where the firearm in his possession was the one that was walking in front, and the second perpetrator with nothing in his possession was behind the one with the firearm.
Uthi indlela abangena ngayo le ukuthi lo wayenesibhamu waqala yena, lo owayengaphethanga lutho walandela.
Yebo njalo.
Yes, that's correct.
Now let us get to the attire that the first perpetrator with a firearm had. How was it clothed?
Asizeke lokho ababegqokileke. Lona yena owayephambili ephethe isibhamu wayegqokeni.
Njengoba bese ngishilo ukuthi emva kwa 8 years into ezincane njengama details ukuthi ukhala bani ijezi noma yini they slowly fade.
As I've already said that it's in the period of 8 years, the finer details as to the color, the jersey, those fade away.
But into enganyamalala ubuso bomuntu.
But what doesn't go away or what doesn't fade is the person's face.
What does that supposed to mean to my question, man?
Ngabe lokho kusho ukuthini ke kumbuzo wami?
Umbuzo wakho into engisho ukuthi as to ukuthi wayefaka ijacket noma ijini noma yini lokho kumina bekubalekanga kangako.
What I'm saying, or what that means to your question, is that whether the person was wearing a jacket, a jean, that was not important, that important to me.
Iso lami lagqila ebusweni, lagqila emzimbeni ukuthi uqatha noma umncane neinwele nesigqoko if befake njengoba bengisho ukuthi befake isigqoko lo munye efake ihoodie ngoba yayila. Izinto ezinjalo azikhohlweki but into efana nokhala ne-make ne-design really.
My eye was concentrating on the face, the person's build, whether it's a small build or hugely built, and as well as the hair, what the person was wearing on the head. But as to the color, what the make, no.
Thank you. And that is because memory fades away.
Logo kwenziwa noma logo kungenxa yokuthi ke imemory iya fade.
Hayi yonke.
Not all of it.
Minor details.
Logo okuncane.
The second perpetrator, how was he clad?
Owesibili yena ke wayegqokeni.
Owesibili ngikhumbula ukuthi wayefaka ihoodie.
The second one, I remember that he was wearing a hoodie.
Njengoba ngikhumbula ukuthi oqala wayefaka isigqoko.
Just as I remember that the first one was wearing a hat.
Njengoba bengisho futhi ukuthi gaqila kakhulu la phezulu.
As I have already explained that my concentration was on the top part.
Now, up to what point of his face did the hood go?
Le hoodie lena ke ibifinyelela kuphi la kuyena?
Oh, let me start here. What is this hood? What's a hood?
A hoodie.
Oh, a hoodie.
Hoodie.
Yes. What is it, hoodie?
Hoodie i-tracksuit kodwa leni nesigqoko.
Yes.
It's a tracksuit, but the one with the
Uyabona nje le efake accused number
Just a
5.
second.
the one that accused number 5 is wearing.
Something like this.
Yes.
Oh, this is a hoodie.
Hoodie.
Okay, thank you. So the second perpetrator is something like this.
Unjani?
That's correct.
Now, did this thing that appears to be a head on the hoodie, was it on his head? Was this portion on this garment that appears to be a head? Maybe this is the hoodie, I don't know, but this portion, was it on his head?
Head or head?
Head.
Okay.
Head.
Beyayilagi enekhanda.
Yebo kunjani?
Yes, that's the case.
That is up until the skirmishness in the kitchen was over. This portion of the garment was on his head.
Lokho kwaze kwayophela lokhu okwakwenzeka ekitchen ihoodie leyo ikuyena ekhanda.
Lokho angeke ngibe nesiqiniseko sakho kodwa mina mengisuka ekitchen ngibalekela ebathroom. Ngayishiya isa on.
That I won't be certain about, but when I ran from the kitchen to the bathroom, it was still on.
And despite the fact that, I'm tempted to request you to demonstrate this code. How did it let it,
Ungayigqoka nawe emnumzane ngizokubonisa.
You can also wait, I'll show you.
The rules of court do not allow me to do it,
Nama ngeke ngikwazi ukuyifaka ngoba nginestyle sami esihle kabi ngisebenze kanzima ekseni isilungisi.
I also won't be able to put it on because I worked very hard. I've got this beautiful hairstyle that I have on.
Okay, no, it's fine. We leave it at there. I don't want to interfere with all those morning efforts, ma'am. But thank you. Now, you say, you testified in your evidence in chief that as you were in the bathroom, that is, before you could run to the bathroom, there was a first shot that was fired in your presence while you were in the kitchen, and when you got into the bathroom, you had two other feather shots, not so?
Oshilo ukuthi nkathi usese kitchen isibhamu saqhuma uma use bathroom ke saqhuma kabili futhi use bathroom.
Yebo njani?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Now, the police came. This is just the background of my question. The police came the following morning. They were able to retrieve two exhibits that were allegedly fired from a firearm.
Amaphoyisa afika ke kulandelayo ke base bethola ke lokho kubiza ukuthi ama exhibits amabili ke so asithi ke ehlambu ke ezadutshulwa ke noma eziphuma kwisibhamu leso ke esasetshenziswa khona lapha.
Now, as you went on, some days thereafter perhaps, as you went on to clean your place, shifting the sofa, the things in the kitchen there, doing spring cleaning, did you ever find another exhibit? It could have been yourself or any of your family member that you would have alerted the police with?
Uma sekuhamba amalanga ke seniqoqa ke senicleana ke endlini nenza lokho akubiza ukuthi ke i-spring cleaning, ingaba kukhona yini ubufakazi obatholakala ke enani ngathi ke nazisa amaphoyisa ukuthi sithole lokhu noma ngithole lokhu ngathi ngiclean endlini.
Okokuqala akusimini ngaclean endlini. The last place I wanted to be in kwakuyilendlu.
Firstly, I'm not the one who cleaned the house. That was the last place I wanted to be at that house.
And at this point angazi ukuthi ubani wa clean endlini.
At this point, I don't know as to who cleaned the house
Ngoba futhi kwakungabalekile kumina.
because that wasn't important to me.
And engikholelwa ikona ukuthi amaphoyisa akuthola lokho akuthola ecinga futhi angazi ukuthi ayicingani kahle kahle ibona simple angasichazela.
I think the police found whatever it is that they found, and I don't know what it is that they thought. So they are the ones who will be able to explain or tell us.
Ma'am, don't be angry about this question. It's just an innocent question.
Angicasukile baba.
I'm not angry, sir, at all.
So the information that you have
Yes.
is that you bear no knowledge whether or not any further exhibits were found at the scene.
Okushoyo ukuthi awazi ukuthi khona okunye okwatholakala khona lapha yana.
Yebo angazi lutho.
Yes, I know nothing.
Thank you. Ma'am, I would finally want to put the versions based on the statement that the state gave us in preparation of this case. You know, that's procedurally at court that we need to do that, so we hear what your comment is to what they would come and tell this court. Do you understand?
Ngizokutshela ke manje ke ukuthi ke noma ke lokho inkulumo noma ke kuthiwa iversion ke lokho sikwenza ngenxa ya lokho esikutholayo ke umshushisi uma silungiselela ke ukuqhulwa kwecala ngoba vele indlela ke leyo ekufanele senze ngayo enkantolo. Ngilindele kuwena ukuthi uphawule kuloko ngizokutshela kona ke ngithi ikona ekushiwo uyena lo engimmele.
Do you understand, ma'am?
Uyangizwa?
Ngiyakuzwa.
I understand.
Thank you. Is it please the court, my lord? Now, this is what Longwe Twala would, amongst others, come and tell this court. Or maybe before I get to that, you were asked yesterday whether were you in a position to describe the kind of a firearm that the first perpetrator had, and then you said you can't because you do not know the types of firearm, not so.
Buziwe ke izolo mayelana nesibhamu ke ukuthi ungachaza yini washo ukuthi ibhama uzazi.
Yebo kunjani?
Yes, that's true.
Thank you. Now, in one of the statements, that is A19,
So
A9.
If you read, can you also give me a copy so that I can also see what you read?
The copies. That's A9. Yes, thank you, Mr. Suspender. I know this has got nothing to do with you, but in just the holistic approach, which will form part of our argument at the end of it all, he would say, I think that is paragraph 4. It starts on paragraph 4. That's paragraph 4. It's an unusual handwriting though, but it said suddenly at about 20 hours on 24/10/2014, 2 unknown men entered their house two unknown boys came in the house. There is it. Yes. Suddenly, at plus minus 20 hours, on 26 October 2014, two unknown boys came in the house.
Lana ke statement esikalogwe esithi bavele nje ngabo 8 ebusuku nge-26 ka-October 2014 bangena ke abafana ababili esingabazi endlini.
And I hear a voice saying, "Take out phones and money."
Ngezwa ke izwi lithi khiphani ama-cell phones, amafoni nemali.
I then approached one of these boys.
Ngaya koyedwa wabo.
I grabbed him and pushed him.
Ngambamba ngase ngimphusha.
He was armed with a revolver, a 3.8 special.
Wayephethe i-revolver ewu-3.8 special.
I then ran out to look for help.
Ngase ngibaleka ngiphuma ke ngiyobheka usizo.
Thank you. That's the position that I wanted to bring to your attention.
Iloko ebengifuna ukuthi ke ngikufundele kona.
As you have indicated, you don't know nothing about firearms.
Ubusushilo ukuthi ibhama uzazi.
John.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Now, he also made a further statement. Yeah. Now, in the statement that we are preparing here, I think that is where your interest is going to be. Hmm? As it please the court, my lord, Mr. Sibande was assisting with the technical operation of the system, still trying to search the statement. No, I don't know how to say it. As it please the court, my lord, we are very sorry to be wasting the court's time because apparently what was loaded in the system here is a different A113. So the state is trying to assist us with the retrieval of a relevant A113.
Can you read? You can read.
Oh, I can read it. Okay, now, thank you. Thank you. Now, on paragraph 5 of this A113, this is what he says, or this is what Longwe will come and tell this court. He will come and tell this court that just as Kelly was about to tell the joke, I noticed two black guys, yes, one tall, light in complexion.
Uthenje uKelly uma esezochaza ke ihlaya noma esezosho ke ihlaya ngabona ke abalisa ababili ke abantu bamnyama omunye emude futhi ke ekhanya ngebala.
Maybe just before you comment on this, let us go back to a description of the perpetrators in their house, or the perpetrator, the intruders who got into your house. Let us start with the first perpetrator who had a firearm. What was the description of him?
Ngaphambi kokuthi ngiqhubeke ngofunda le ngifundayo asibuyele umuva ke umchaza ke lo omfishane ke noma lo wayephambili ke ephethe isibhamu uthi uye wathini uma umchaza
Ngithe lo uqala phambili ube nama-dreads acishe ukufika entanyeni between intamo namahlombe ngathi ube namehlo amakhulu aphumele ngaphandle ngathi ube nama-facial contours kuzochaza.
Okay. When I described the first one, I said that he had dreadlocks that almost reached his neck, between the neck as well as the shoulders. He had big protruding eyes as well as facial contours.
Ube ngemuntu ube ngemfishane kakhulu.
He wasn't tall. He was also not very short. Yes.
Ngathi ubethwele isigqoko.
Now also said that he had a hat on.
Yes, proceed.
Izinto engayinaka ke lezo.
Those are the things that I noticed.
What was his color in terms of your evidence in chief? What did you say his color was? That you told this court about in your evidence in chief?
Ngathi ube darkish nje.
I said he was darkish.
Thank you. But this is what Longwe will then continue to say. That he noticed that the two black guys, one was tall, light in complexion. Tall, light in complexion.
Okushoyo ke uLongwe ukuthi ke omunye wabo ke wambona ukuthi wayemude futhi ke light ke noma ekhanya ke ngecomplexion.
Now before we get there, you have just given a description of the person that was in possession of the firearm. And what was your description of the other perpetrator, the one who had nothing, who you did not see anything in his possession?
Lona ke uqeda uchaza ke manje lo uthi wayephethe isibhamu lo omunye ke wayengaphethe lutho yena uma umchaza uye wathini?
Ngithe mude okokuqala.
First I said he's tall,
Mncane ngomzimba.
Small in build. Yeah.
Unentshebe ekekelezile kanje.
He had a mustache that goes right around his mouth.
Right.
Ngathi futhi ube ngemnyama engemhlophe kakhulu.
And that he wasn't dark and he was also not very light.
Thank you. Those were observations. Now Longwe would come and tell this court that the tall guy, according to the house, that is now according to his statement here, was light in complexion, and you're saying he was dark in complexion, not so.
uLongwe yena ke uma emchaza ke ngokwale statement esifundwayo ke ukuthi yena uzothi ke lo omude waye light wena uthi waye dark.
Okokuqala asiboni ngokufana.
Firstly, we don't see things the same.
Mina mangibuka leli bhodlela ngathi li light blue ufike wena uthi li green. Indlela wena ubona ngayo nami indlela engibona ngayo.
The witness referring to the bottle that's right next to her, in front of her, that if I look at it, I would say that it is light blue. You would come and say that it is green. That is how you view or you see it.
So what you're saying is Longwe might have made a mistake in saying.
No, she's not saying that, please. She says,
their observation.
yeah, she says can't be expected to observe the things you're quoting for her. She has her own interpretation and observation, which she has told the court. That's why she says you may look at that bottle and you say, she says, I say it's light green, somebody says it's blue.
Someone will come and say it's turquoise.
Somebody says it's turquoise.
What will the other one say, my lord?
Turquoise, that's what he says. Turquoise. You don't know the turquoise color.
I'm hearing that term for the first time.
Is it?
As it pleases the court, my lord, but thank you. That will be what Longwe would come and tell this court. But further on, he made another statement. But let me just read it. Now, unfortunately, this statement is not numbered. But there's a paragraph that I'm going to read out there. I don't know, it's not numbered, but let me just read out. I think it will be eloquently interpreted. He says, in his latest statement, I noticed two guys getting inside the house. The one who came first was short, dark, having dreadlocks with cheekbones.
Uthi lana ke kulesi esinye sifundayo ke manje statement ngabona ke amadoda amabili amnyama engena endlini lona ke owayephambili ke noma oqala ke wayemfishane dark ka eneyiqhomo
And he was
ama dreadlocks.
And he was wearing a jacket that was between khaki or light brown in bracket beige.
Egqoke ke ijacket eyayingakhaki light brown noma beige.
He says he cannot remember his other clothing.
Okunye awayegqokile athi akakhumbuli.
He was followed by, immediately a tall one followed.
Waseke elandelwa omude.
He was wearing black hoodie.
Fake hoodie emnyama.
He was light in complexion.
Light noma ke ekhanya ngebala.
That is to say, he still emphasizes that the second suspect who got into the house was light in complexion.
Lana ke usagcizelela ke ukuthi lona omude waye light ngebala.
Angeke ngimphikise ngalokho. Ngenzeka into njengoba sihleli la maybe 50 eRomani. Kuya ngokuthi wena ubone ujike nini wayibona leyo nto futhi wayibona kanjani and futhi from which angle.
I wouldn't dispute it if that's what he's saying.
Yes.
It is possible that as we are seated in this room, there are about 50 of us, that you see something. When did you see it? How did you see it? From which angle? And when did you turn around to see it?
And futhi sonke singabona into eyodwa kodwa si experience ngeindlela ezihlukahlukene futhi eziningi.
We can all see the same thing, but experience it in different ways and many ways.
Futhi ngeyikhathi engafani.
At different times also.
Yes. Thank you for that explanation, man. But then finally from me, on behalf of accused number 3, the state has also provided us with a statement that it had disclosed. Unfortunately, the name of the witness is not in the list of state witnesses there, but I realize that in the list of state witnesses at paragraph 113, the state says the name of certain witnesses have been withheld for security reasons. I presume this is the case with this witness.
Kune statement yeke lana okugcina ke kumina njengoba ngimele umsolo wesithathu kune statement abasinikeze sona ke kodwa ke kuhlalwa amagama ofakazi angiboni igama lalofakazi noma ke asibhalwanga kodwa ke khona la basho khona ke kulolahla ukuthi ofakazi abathize amagama abo angeke achazeke ngezizathu zokuvikeleka.
Now, this witness basically would come and tell this court, because the state is going to call him, will come and tell this court that on the date of the happening of this incident, he got a call from your sister Kelly.
Lo fakazi uzozake azotshela ke ngoba bazombiza akazotshela inkantolo ukuthi ngelanga ekwenzeka ngaso isigameko ekwenzeka ngalo isigameko lesi wathola ke ucingo olubuya udadewenu uKelly.
Unfortunately, as she tried to explain what was happening, there was a conversation breakdown. When they tried to call her back, they couldn't reach her.
Ngeshwa ke esachaza ke noma esazama ukuthi achaze ukuthi kwenzakalani kwase kukhona nje ukunqamuka ke kwinkulumo leyo yabo uma esezama ke ukuthi abuyele kuyena ke akazange amthole.
Subsequent, they then phoned Dumelo Madlala.
Base ke emuva kwalokho ke befonela yena uDumelo Madlala.
And Dumelo Madlala informed him, now this witness whose identity we would not disclose.
Wase ke uDumelo etshela lo fakazi lona engithi ke igama lakhe alichaziwe,
that Senzo has been hit by a bullet.
ukuthi ke uSenzo ushaywe inhlamvu.
And this happened as Senzo was trying to intervene or separate a fight that was happening between yourself and Longwe.
Futhi ke lokho kwenzeka kathi ke uSenzo ezama ukuthi avimbeke noma ahlukaniseke ifight noma ukulwa ke okwakukhona phakathi kwakho kanye noLongwe.
That is the information that is contained in the statement. Do you have any comment, ma'am?
Iloko ke okukulesi statement ingaba khona yini ofisa ukusho?
Okokuqala mina noLongwe sasingalo.
Firstly, Longwe and myself were not fighting.
Sasi happy kabi mina noLongwe we were in a very good space.
We were very happy, myself and Longwe. We were in a very good space.
Kuze ngimmeme ukuthi aze ekhaya lokho kuchaza ukuthi sase right mina naye.
For me to have invited him to come to my home,
yes,
that explains that myself and him, things were good between the two of us.
Yes.
So lesho yo manje hayi angiyazi.
So that which is being said now, I know nothing about.
Thank you, ma'am. That will be all from me on behalf of accused number 3.
Ngiyabonga ke.
Hey, Justice, my lord, let me approach accused number 3.
Yes.
That will be all, my lord, on behalf of accused number 3. Thank you, ma'am.
Any re-examination? I didn't ask the re-examination in respect of accused 1 and 2.
Yes, we thought we were going to do all that.
No. You can do it now because otherwise there are 5. If you want to.
Yes.
That means this witness, you can re-examine him 5 times, in other words, because there are 5 counsels here.
Yes.
Okay, but if you choose to examine him at the end of
yes,
the 5th counsel having finished, fine. So
yes, we prefer.
you prefer that?
Yes.
Okay, fine, no problem.
As
Thanks. What's your time there, Mr. Eloy?
25 to 12.
That's all. Must be an interesting case, this. Nobody wanted to go out for a comfort break.
Please.
So let's hear you, sir. We are for number 4.
Yes, my request is short adjournment. My lord, I just have to approach Mr. Mapisa.
How short is a short adjournment?
15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes.
Amen.
an unknown witness whose name counsel said was withheld for security reasons,
Right.
says that on the day of the incident, he got a call from Zandile Khumalo.
Mm-hmm.
And they handed the phone to Dumelo Madlala, who informed the witness that Senzo Meyiwa has been hit by a bullet, and this happened as Mr. Senzo Meyiwa was trying to separate a fight between the witness and Longwe.
Yeah.
But if counsel was referring to A6 reads as follows. As I say, this is now the statement of Mr. Edward Hlophe, unless if counsel referred to a different statement. But the statement reads as follows. This Mr. Hlophe says he went back inside the car, called Dumelo Madlala on the night of 26 October 2014. He wanted to get the truth of what exactly happened. Dumelo told him that there was a fight. The paragraphs are not numbered, but it's 1 to the third page. It's third page of the statement, second paragraph on page 3. I wanted to get the truth of what exactly happened. Dumelo told me that there was a fight in Zandile Khumalo's house. Zandi was fighting with the then boyfriend, and Senzo Meyiwa was trying to separate the two, Zandi and her boyfriend. I further asked Dumelo who was Zandi. Dumelo told me Zandi was Kelly's sister. So my lord, all we are saying is that there's no, if counsel was referring to the statement, there's no portion where the witness states that, as it was put to the witness, that Senzo Meyiwa has been hit by a bullet, and this happened as Senzo Meyiwa was trying to separate the fight between the witness and Long. So we object to that question. If the question was based on that statement, we submit that it ought to be withdrawn, my lord.
Mshushisi akuphendulayo ke noma akushoyo bafethu ukuthi kuloku ebekushiwo ummeli ngaphambilini kukhona la ummeli ashilo ukuthi kunalo fakazi ke igama lakhe lingachaziwe lo fakazi uthi wakhulumisana noTumelo wasethi uTumelo ke na ke uSenzo washaywa inhlamvu ebuya ke emva kokuthi wayezama ke ukuthi avike noma ke anqandeke ifight yayikhona phakathi kukafakazi uZandi kanye ke naloyo ayewethandana naye. Kodwa ke kulesa sifundayo manje ke umshushisi uthi le ndawo ke ummeli akhulume ngayo ekhuluma ngenhlamvu nokuthi uSenzo washaya leyo nhlamvu ezama ke ukuthi anqandeke ifight yayikhona phakathi kofakazi noLongwe ayikho. Umshushisi ucela ukuthi ummeli ayilungise leyo ndawo ngoba uma ekhuluma ngale statement akukho lokho kusona.
Mr. Mnisi, they say you are quoting an incorrect statement if you are quoting any.
Madam, I was not reading from the statement.
You're not?
I was.
Yeah.
I was not reading from the statement. I was paraphrasing from the statement. And in any event, that witness will come and testify to the effect of what I've just put to this witness here.
But Mr. Balawi says that is incorrect. There's no statement which alludes to that. Am I correct, Mr. Balawi?
Indeed, my lord.
That's the gist of the complaint, or the objection. Now the question is, where did you get that version?
My Lord, as I'm saying, I was paraphrasing the statement.
No, you don't have to paraphrase, read it. Because if you got it from a statement,
Yes.
then you read the statement. But if you paraphrase it, anything can happen. Jesus Christ of Jerusalem, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, not the same thing.
As it please the court, madam.
No. Read it, because maybe you are right. I don't see the statements. I don't have them. It's your colleague who says that quotation is misplaced, and then you must withdraw it. That's what he says.
I've got a way
Of
of dealing with this statement, my lord.
you. Now the
I'm-
court is the court is enjoined to deal with that aspect in terms of the law. You have a way, fine,
Yes, my lord.
but
What
this
I-
court has to deal with the objection as stated by Mr. Balui, that quotation is misplaced. It's not there.
as it please the court, my lord.
And that you must withdraw that misplaced quotation.
As it please the court, my lord.
Are you withdrawing it?
That is exactly where I'm getting to.
Oh, I
But
see.
nonetheless, this witness is going to be called to come testify. But what I suggested to this witness here for now, maybe put in abeyance, maybe withdrawn from the record.
Okay, fine.
As it please the court.
Withdrawn, Mr. Baloi. Yes, sir. Was counsel for the fourth?
My lord, I had requested the state to provide the court with the copy of the...
Speak up
Yes,
a
thank
bit.
you. I had requested the state to provide the court with the copy of the cell phone records.
Okay, fine.
Yes, there is an affidavit which was drafted by Colonel Stein.
We've marked it Exhibit O, my lord. And we also have Exhibit 1. and This containing the interview.
Okay. Exhibit O.
Exhibit O, as the
Okay,
court
fine.
uses.
Right. I have it.
I've also requested that the court interpreter be provided, Mr. Jonas be provided with a copy.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So, Mr. Jonas, you have been provided with a copy.
We'll put it up on the...
Oh, on the screen. Okay, fine. Okay. You're still on the oath, ma'am.
The witness is indicating that there's a noise outside, you can't hear it.
Where's the court order? Can you take care of the noise outside? Okay, yes, sir.
Ma'am, you told this court in your evidence in chief that the relationship between the deceased and your sister Kelly Khumalo started during the period 2012-2013. Do you confirm that?
Ushilo ke lenkantolo ukuthi ubudlelwane phakathi ke nomufi kanye ke nosisi wakho baqala that 2012-2013.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that's correct.
During that period, that is the period 2012-2013, how was their relationship? That is the relationship between the deceased and your sister.
Ngaleso sikhathi ke ubudlelwane ke phakathi kwabo bobabili umufi kanye naye ke usisi wakho babunjani?
Njengawo wonke ama-relationship kunama-ups kunama-downs kodwa into engiyaziyo ukuthi babethandana futhi be-happy.
As in all relationships, what I know is that there are ups and downs, but what I can say that what I know is that they were in love and they were happy.
During that period, that relationship was still the Romeo and Juliet relationship that you had referred to in the interview.
Ngaleso sikhathi ke i-relationship leyo ke yayi ilena ke okhulume ngayo kwi-interview ukuthi wabizwa ukuthi Romeo and Juliet.
Ngicela uphinde umbuzo ngizonga kahle.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't hear properly.
During that period, the 2012-2013 period, when they were in a relationship, were they still in a relationship that you referred to as the Romeo and Juliet relationship in the interview that you had with ENCA News?
Ngaleso sikhathi ke sika 2012-2013 beqala le relationship ingaba ke ileyo relationship ileyo bakuyile relationship le oyichaze kwi-interview ebesibuka kizolo ukuthi wababiza uRomeo and Juliet.
Njengoba sengichazile kuma-relationships khona sometimes kuba mnandi sometimes kungabi mnandi kodwa engikwazi ukuthi babethandana.
As I've already mentioned that in the relationships at times it's good and at times it's bad, but what I do know is that it was good and they were in love.
During the period 2013, the year 2013, is it correct that we are using the cell phone model Nokia N8?
The witness.
Yes.
Wasebenzisa iNokia N8 ngaleso sikhathi 2013.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, that's correct.
The cell phone number of that cell phone, you confirm that it was 074 676 6669.
6669. Uyavuma ke ukuthi i-cellphone number ngaleso sikhathi kwaku 074 676 6669.
Yebo kunjani?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you confirm that the cell phone number of your sister Kelly Khumalo was 0827044358?
704.
I wonder if perhaps isn't there a better way that we can deal with this aspect so that these matters are not out there in the open. My learned friend has got the affidavit. You can just refer to, without prescribing to him, just refer to a relevant paragraph and say, is that your number that appears there?
Okay,
So
what
that we don't have a problem that the witness number is out there in the...
are they still using the same numbers maybe? Yes.
I'm afraid, my lord, that I'm being channeled. I'm being channeled. you know.
Hello?
I'm being channeled. So I think it's better that I establish from the witness first the numbers, then I go to the affidavit.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yes. So before we interrupted, what was your response?
I didn't finish the numbers.
Okay, sorry. You confirmed that the number for your sister was 0827044358.
4358. The number lena ebiziwe ke la uyavuma ukuthi kwakuyi number esetshenziswa udadweni.
Hey, ekakhela ngisayikhumbuli kahle.
I can't remember Kelly's number well.
Ma'am, there is an affidavit. It is going to be beamed. It is an affidavit that was compiled by Colonel Number Sustain from the South African Police Services in the service of the state, attached to the National Cold Case Investigation Unit based in Pretoria head office as an analyst and investigation officer. It is going to be beamed for your benefit. But of interest to me, for purposes of this cross-examination, is on page 6.
Bengicela uphakamisa izwi ngoba ubuqamamana angikuzwa kahle amanye amagama ayashona futhi especially uma ubheka phansi.
All right, I'll
Just
do
raise your
that.
voice, please, because especially when you look down at some I can't hear some of the things you say.
Okay, but the interpreter is going to tell me that. The interpreter is going to
No,
interpret
she's got
for-
to hear that
Mina mina ngizwe.
before the interpreter tells her whatever.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I was saying that I'm in possession of the affidavit by Colonel Stein. It is going to be beamed for your benefit.
Futhi ke kunale affidavit ekhona ke yakhe uKenneth Stein izoboniswa ke la ukuthi ubone.
What is of interest to me for purposes of this cross-examination is on page 6 of the affidavit. For purposes of this cross-examination, I'm going to refer you to SMSs. Maybe I should start here. It says, just at the top of the page, SMSs received by Zandi, Nokia N8, open bracket, RM-596, close bracket, Zandile Khumalo.
Lana ke sokhuluma kubhalwe la ama SMS atholwa uZandi Nokia N8 RM596.
Do you have a spare copy to give to the witness?
Yes. I had
Mr.
requested
Valerie.
the state, my lord, to provide the extra copies.
Hello?
We had 2 spare copies, but we can't find. We'll provide it to the witness.
No, she must extemporaneously see the
Yes.
the quoted SMS. It's better that way.
Yes. Maybe if we can just...
Okay, use the quotes. I haven't marked it.
Well, can I lend the witness mine?
Yeah, okay, thanks.
It's at page 6. No? Page 6.
Yes, on page 6. Sent by Kelly Khumalo, 082-270-44358.
Yeah, man. Yes, I see that.
Yes. You see where I am, ma'am?
Ngizama ukubheka.
I'm trying to see, to look.
Where it says SMS received by Zandile Khumalo. That is
Yes.
where I'm
Yeah,
going
but-
to start.
Yes, I see it.
So I'll go through each or the content of each SMS and invite you to respond where necessary.
Ngizofunda ke lama SMS onke ke ngicele ke la kunesidingo khona ke ukuthi uphawuleke.
It says, or the content says, tell from 278 to 7044358. The
Yeah,
text, Senzo's mom is talking to every radio station in Durban, telling how it will be my fault if she dies of heart attack. Question mark. Can you believe it? Question mark. This woman. Question mark. It was sent time 2013 10/11 at 9:43:59 a.m. The status read storage device type incoming folder inbox.
Lana ke ngalendlela ebhalwe ngayo ke i-text Senzo's man
Mama.
which okay ngifuna ngalendlela ebhalwe ngayo khuluma nayo yonke ke i-radio station yase Durban echaza ke ukuthi how it would be now. Okay, ukuthi kuzoba kungenxa yami ke uma ngenzeka ukuthi angashona ngenxa ye heart attack noma inhliziyo uyakholelwa lo mfazi noma lo muntu wesifazane isikhathi 2013 10/11 9:43 ekseni uma iyachaza ke ukuthi ifundiwe imessage incoming inbox.
Can you please tell this court what was happening when Kelly Khumalo sent you that SMS?
Ungayichazela ke lenkantolo ukuthi kwakwenzekani ngenkathi uKelly Khumalo eksendela lo mkhafazo.
Noma ngasakhumbuli kahle kodwa engikwazi ukuthi osisi bayakhuluma omunye makukhona into emhleli kabi uyamtshela umuntu.
Although I can't remember well, but what I do know is that sisters do talk. When something is bothering the other, she would tell the other.
Did you respond to this SMS?
Ingabe waphendula yini kulo mkhafazo?
Angisakhumbuli kahle.
I can't remember well.
Okay. Let us move on to the next one. The text, I regret everything. I wish I didn't allow Senzo into my life. Look at all the mess it has gotten us into. It's all his lies now affecting all of us.
Ngiyasola ke ngayo yonke into ukuthi ngamvumela ke uSenzo empilweni yami. Bheka ke manje yonke ke lenqoshunqosho isifake kuyona amanga akhe onke bheka ke nathi ke manje achaphazela thina sonke.
What was happening when that SMS was sent?
Nkathi kuthunyelwa lena ke iSMS kwakwenzekani?
Anginaso isiqiniseko salokho.
I have no certainty of that.
Why did, let me rephrase the question. What mess was Kelly referring to?
Yini ke lenqoshunqosho noma le mess uKelly ayekhuluma ngayo?
Ekubukeni kwami uSenzo wayengenalo iqiniso wayenokuya nenenene unomandisa nenenene unoKelly mayifika kuKelly ukhuluma okunye mayifika kuMandisa ukhuluma okunye, so I think yona into ayikhuluma ngayo.
According to how I saw it, Senzo wasn't honest. At times he would be with Mandisa, times he would be with Kelly. When he's with Kelly, he would say this. When he is with Mandisa, he would say this. I think that is what she was referring to.
I'm not going to go through the whole SMSs, but let us turn to page 10 of the affidavit.
Angeke ngiye kuwona onke ke ama SMS kodwa sibheke nje page 10.
I'll read. I'll read the one in the middle of the page. I'm emotionally drained. I sometimes feel that Senzo brought a dark cloud in my life. And I can almost hate myself for not succeeding in getting rid of him via SMSs, and the SMS would not go. I feel like God is deliberately sabotaging me by keeping this man in my life.
Lana ke ithi ngokwasemphefumulweni noma ngokwasemoyeni ke noma ke ngidrainekile futhi ke ngesinye nje isikhathi ngifila nje ngongathi ke noma ngizizwa ngongathi uSenzo waletha nje ifu elimnyama empilweni yami. Futhi ke ngathi nje ngingayizonda ngokuthi ke ngingazange ngiphumelele ngokuthi ke ngikwazi nje ukuthi ngihlukaneke naye ngeSMS. Futhi ke ama SMS engahambi noma SMS engahambi sengifila ngongathi ke uNkulunkulu uyangisabotaja ke ngenhloso noma ngamabomu ke ngokuthi agcine le ndoda empilweni yami.
What was happening there when that SMS was sent to you?
La ngathi ithunyelwa lena SMS.
Njengoba bese ngishilo ukuthi angazi ukuthi ezinye izinto angizazi ukuthi zazenzeka nini kanjani, but engikwazi ukuthi kwakuyi back and forth phakathi kwabo bobathathu, and uKelly wayemthanda okwangempela uSenzo futhi wayemthanda uKelly ngokubona kwami.
As I've already said that I don't know as to when and how certain things were happening, but it was a back and forth between the three of them, and Kelly loved Senzo and Senzo loved Kelly according to how or what I saw.
Futhi kwakungamphathi kahle uKelly ukuthi uSenzo akakwazi ukukhetha noma akanali iqinisela ngakhe.
And it wasn't sitting well with Kelly that Senzo wasn't in a position to choose, or that he didn't have enough honesty.
From the reading of the content of this SMS, clearly suggests that she did not love him anymore.
How can you say that? How can you say that?
I withdraw that. I withdraw that.
As a court, please, my lord, we don't want to prescribe to my learned friend how to conduct his cross-examination, but if the dates can also be put on record so that these SMSs are contextualized.
Okay. Yeah, but he's putting at least the pages on record, and he says, this one, for instance, it's in the middle of the page.
Yes.
Okay.
But you know, this
Yeah, I hear you.
This is sent on the 31st of December 2030.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fine.
All
Okay.
right. Yes, it
Time
was.
and the date.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. It was
Yeah.
sent on the 31st of December 2013 at 11:24:31 a.m.
Right.
Yes.
Nanje ke idate 31 zika December ngo 2013, 24 minutes emva kwa 11 ekuseni.
It would suggest from the content that the relationship was sour.
Lana umfunda ke lana kuyachazela ke ukuthi izinto alingahambi kahle ke ngahambi kahle kwi relationship.
Njengoba bese ngichazile, bekunamalanga amnandi kunamalanga amabi njengayo yonke relationship ekhona emhlabeni.
As I've already mentioned that there were good days and bad days, like in any other relationship in the world.
Let us now turn to page 11, the last SMS. It was sent on 2013-12-31, that is December 2031 at 11:41 minutes 16 seconds a.m. It reads as follows. All I can do is hope and pray that each day I'm getting closer to my day of being free from him.
Lana ke kulena SMS yange 31 zika December 2013, 11:41 isikhathi nama seconds awu 16. Uthi ke kuphela nje engakwenza ukuthemba nokuthandaza ukuthi ilanga ngelanga ngiyasondela ke ekuthini ngikhululeke kuyena.
What did you understand by this? The
Wena
content
ke
of this SMS.
wawuzwa noma yini wawuyizwa noma uyi-understanda kule SMS?
Ngokwazi kwami udadewethu mayithanda umuntu umthanda loudly futhi ngakho konke anakho.
According to my knowledge and what I know is that when my sister loves someone, loves that person, she would love loudly and with everything she has.
Futhi ke ngendlela usenze bengenalo iqiniso ngakhona ubeza ngitshele namathi yazi inhliziyo yami ibhlungu kodwa sengifile ngathi manje sengikade na ngiyeke.
And the manner in which Senzo was so dishonest, she would tell me, or she would go as far as telling me that my heart is now so broken, but I just feel that I can just let go.
But at the same time, ngiyamthanda.
But at the same time, I love him.
What did you understand by this last part of the SMS, which reads, being free from him?
Lena eyogcina ke ethi yibe ngikhululeke kuyena yini oyi-understandayo noma oyi-understanda ngayo?
Ukudedela uthando analo for yena.
To release or to let go of the love she had for him.
Will be to end the relationship in a sense.
Ukuphelisa i-relationship.
Lokho angeke ngikwazi ukuchaza.
That I wouldn't be able to explain.
May the court bear with me, my lord. I'm just going to a certain portion now. Let us now go to page 84 of the affidavit, Exhibit O. Do you confirm that Longwe Twala's number was 060-804-0436?
Oh, okay. This is the 060.
Yes.
Okay. Yovuma ukuthi number kalonga kuyilena lo 060-804-0436.
Nalapha nginaso isiqiniseko ngoba sekuyisikhathi izinamba ziyaphuma emqondweni especially inamba uyikhemanga ngaleyo ndlela.
Also there, I don't have any certainty you get to lose the numbers from your memory, especially if the number is not specifically stored.
Noma futhi mawungasazwani nalowo muntu ungasajoli.
And also if you are no longer in good terms with that person and you are no longer in a love relationship.
May the court bear with me. Colonel Stein also downloaded the SMSs between your number, the number that you confirmed, and the number which belonged to Longwe Twala. That is the 0608040436 number.
Colonel Stein ke wase download ke nama SMS phakathi kwakho ke phakathi kwakho noma inamba lena oshila ukuthi kwakuyinamba oyisebenzisa kanye nale number ke kalongwe 060-804-0436.
My lord, there's a separate affidavit of Colonel Stein where he does the downloads of the SMSs between the witness and Longwe Twala. ask with the leave of the court that the first affidavit of Kenneth Selby, Exhibit 01.
Yes. Yeah.
There is another affidavit, my lord, as I've alluded to.
Okay.
May I request that with the leave of the court that affidavit be handed in and be marked Exhibit 02 of the record.
Okay. Yes.
May it be deemed for... Okay. Let us turn to page 3 of the affidavit. That is Exhibit 02 of the record.
Well, can we just get an indication of the dates of the... We've marked 01, the SMSs between the witness and Longwe. It's an affidavit by Stein, dated 18 July 2023. Can we just get an indication of 02, which affidavit is being referred to?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, my lord. I'm referring to the same affidavit that was provided to us by the state. The one with SMSs between Longwe, Twala and the witness. My colleague, the other one is thicker than the other, so it will be easy for you to understand where I am. It looks like there's a confusion.
Yeah, but you're referring to which page on the...
The second one.
02.
02.
Which page?
Yes, I'm referring to page 3 of the affidavit.
Page 3.
Yes, page 3.
Okay.
Yes. The affidavit reads as follows. The investigation officer requested the following. Bullet point 4, SMSs between Zandile Khumalo and Longwe Twala as per cell phone downloads.
Lana uthi ke naku okwacelwa ke umphenyi wecala ama SMS ke phakathi kwaZandile Khumalo kanye noLongwe Twala ngokwama downloads cell phone.
Yes, but before I go to the affidavit, Exhibit 02, just a few questions to you, right? Can you tell this court, before you met Longwe in the afternoon of the 26th of October 2014, when last had you met him?
Ngaphambi kokuthi singene kuyona ke le affidavit lena nemibuzo nje embalwa ke ngaphambilini kokuthi uhlangane naye ke ngaleli langa ke langa 26 ngithi ngeafternoon yalelo langa langa 26 October 2014 wagcina nini ngaphambi kwalelo langa lelo ukumbona?
Ngangimgcine ngayizolo.
The previous day.
Where had you met him?
Kuphi nendawo?
Endlini kwaKelly Malberton.
At Kelly's house in Malberton.
On this day, that is a Sunday, the 26th of October 2014, did you communicate with him, that is Longwe Twala?
Ngaleli langa ke leli sonto leli langa 26 ka October 2014 ingaba wa communicate noma wakhuluma yini naye?
Yebo kunjalo ngakhuluma naye kodwa kwesinye isikhathi ngoba bengiyibhizi ngisebenza ngalolu langa benginokungabambi ifoni ngoba mhlawumbe ngise stage noma angizwe.
Yes, I communicated with him on that day, but at times because I was busy, I would not answer the phone because I was working, I would maybe be on stage or didn't hear the phone.
How did you communicate with him? Was it over the phone or through SMSs that you send to him, vice versa, him sending SMSs to you?
Nanixoxa ngama SMS noma nanifonelana ama calls.
Kokubili, sometimes uyafona, sometimes uya SMS, and sometimes ngiyafona, sometimes ngiya SMS, so angazi ukuthi urefera kuyona yiphi.
Both. At times he would call, or at times he would SMS. At times I would also call, and I would also SMS. So I don't know which are you specifically referring to.
I'm referring to Sunday, the 26th of October 2014. I'm specific now on that day, before he arrived.
Ngikhuluma ngaleli langa langesonto ke, langa 26 October 2014 ngaphambi kokuthi afike.
Kokubili.
Both.
You also told this court in your evidence in chief that he arrived in the afternoon of the 26th of October 2014. It could have been between 1800 hours and 1800 hours 30. Do you confirm that?
Ushilo ke ukuthi ngalela langa ke wafika ke mini phakathi kuka 6 no 6:30.
Nakhona ngishilo futhi earlier on ukuthi anginaso isiqiniseko sesikhathi, but ngase ngangi-estimator ngenxa yokuthi mhlambe ngabuka ilanga nangesikhathi engaphuma ngaso ngiyomlanda ngaphandle.
Also there I did say that it was just an estimate on my part, because I looked at the sun and I also looked at the time at which I went out to go and fetch him outside.
Was the sun already set or it was about to?
Ingabe laliselishonile ilanga noma laliselizo?
Laselizoshona ngoba kwakusakhanya sasabonana ngaphandle kwama street lights ukuthi abe on.
It was about to, because we were able to see each other without the street lights being on.
So, with the assistance of the sun, you were able to estimate that it could have been between 1800 hours and 1800 hours 30. Do you confirm that?
Ngokubheka ke noma ngokubuka ke ilanga lokho ke kwakwenza ukuthi uqageleke ukuthi kwaphakathi kuka 6 no 6:30.
Yebo njani?
Yes, that's correct.
Was it an arrangement that he was going to come at your place, or it was a coincidence for him to be there? Did you make arrangements? Did you invite him over? Did he tell you that he was going to come? What was the position?
Ingabe kwakuyisivumelwano yini, into eyayihleliwe yini ukuthi uzofika noma ke yinto nje eyenzeka?
Ekuseni sasingahlelile yebo, kodwa sathi mase silapha sesikhuluma mina naye ngamtshela ukuthi ngisekhaya kunokheli unabangani basenzo noma sizodla lunch ungeza nawe, so into esasikhuluma ngama SMS leyo, so kusho ukuthi sahlele.
In the morning it wasn't arranged or it wasn't planned, but as I was now there and we were communicating, so I told him that we are at home. It's myself, it's Kelly, Senzo's friend, my mother. We are about to have a lunch, so you can also come. So it's something that we then arranged at that time.
Can you also tell the court, just remind me, at what time did the two intruders arrive?
Laba babili abangena bona endlini angikhumbuze ukuthi bangena ngesiphi isikhathi laba bawu2 abangena endlini.
Ngathi mase kuyoshayo 8, angazi noma ngale ka8 noma ngo8 kodwa kwakungalapho.
Around 8. I don't know whether it's before 8 or after 8, but around there.
Did you not say that it was, or it could have been between 1900 hours 30 to 2000 hours when the two intruders arrived? Did you not say that in your evidence in chief?
Kwakuphakathi kuka 7:30 late noma ke ntambama, between 7:30 kanye no8 ntambama. No.
Ne statement sambi siyasho ukuthi sikhomba u20.
Even my statement indicates
2000.
Says or indicates that 2000.
When Longwe, sorry, was it the first time for him to visit you at your home? That is Longwe Twala.
Ngabe wayiqala yini ukuthi akuvakashele kini
Ngaye ngamtshontsha ngamletha ekhaya uma engekho.
I once, I'm gonna use the term that the witness used, my lord. I once stole him and brought him home when my mother wasn't there.
When he arrived on that day, was he alone?
That is
On
that
the
day.
26th?
Okay. Oh, gate 26, uma efika wayeyedwa.
Yebo wayedwa.
Yes, he was alone.
So, if one had to safely estimate, let us say he arrives at about 1800 hours in the afternoon of the 26th of October 2014, and the robbers or the intruders arrive around, say, 2000 hours. So it means he had spent 2 hours at your place before the intruders arrived.
Asithi ke wafika ngaleso sikhathi leso ke phakathi kuka 6 no half past 6 ntambama. Kwase kuthi ke ngo 2000 ngo 8 between 8 no half past 8 lowo kwafika ke laba babili abangena. Kusho ukuthi wahlala u2 hours ngaphambi kokuthi laba bawu2 bafike.
Njengoba bese ngishilo ukuthi isiqiniseko sesikhathi anginaso ngempela.
As I've already said that I don't have a certainty with regards to the time.
But my calculations, ma'am, is going along your estimation. It's not something from me. It's something that you told the court. So I'm basing my estimation on what you told the court.
Lokho ke engikushoyo ke noma lokho ngikubalayo mangibala ke ngikubala ngokwa lokho wena okushilo enkantolo.
Uyasho nawe ukuthi ukubala wena mina ngibalanga.
As you say that you are the one who's doing the calculations, I didn't calculate.
You can also calculate.
Bengichazile ngathi ngiyayizonda imaths.
I've already mentioned that I hate maths.
So I'm telling you that he must have spent about 2 hours, more or less 2 hours before the intruders arrive. I'm putting it to you. I've calculated for you.
Ngiyakutshela ke ngikubalele ukuthi ke uspende amahora amabili ngaphambi kokuthi laba babili abafika laba bangena endlini bafike.
Nalapho kusho wena kusho mina.
That's what you say, I'm not saying.
Time is telling us.
Isikhathi siyasitshela.
The calculation of time.
As
But
a
then-
witness, my lord, I think this issue has been exhausted. The witness is said repeatedly it's just an estimate. If perhaps counsel can maybe
Counsel.
leave it at that.
2 hours, 2.5 hours, according to your assumption. It's okay. She says she didn't calculate the time. You are suggesting that the intruders could have come between 2 hours to 2:30.
No, the time spent by Longwe, my lord, before the intruders
The
arrived.
intruders came when?
Between, he says, before 2000 hours or after that.
Yeah, she estimates that.
Yes. So I'm saying my calculation is based on 1800 hours when Longwe arrived and the time when the intruders arrived. It could have been more or less 2 hours that Longwe,
Fine.
the time that Longwe spent.
Fine.
So it's fine, let us not labor on this. Ma'am, let us now go to page 46 of Exhibit 02. That is on the last column. At the bottom. This is an SMS that you received from the number that belonged to Longwe, the number that I've referred to your number. It was on the 26th of October 2014 at 400 hours, 57 minutes, 36 seconds p.m. The SMS reads as follows: I'm outside.
Kunale SMS ke owayithola ke ngeyi-26 zika October 2014 isikhathi imizuzu ewu3 ngaphambi ko5 ekseni 36 seconds ithi ke SMS ngiphandle.
Maybe then to simplify for you, the crux of my question to you is, according to this SMS, as you earlier told this court that you will interact via phones or SMSs, the SMS that you received on your number from that of Longwe, it was on the 26th of October 2014 at 400 hours, 57 minutes, 36 seconds, telling you that he was outside.
Lana ke engikushoyo kokuwena ukuthi ile SMS ke owayithola ngeyi-26 ka October 2014 ngo 4:57:36 seconds ekutshela kuLongwe ukuthi ngingaphandle.
No, this I'm blind.
Yes.
Which? I'm picking up the same point.
Yes, as a court, please, Malot, we now move into a very technical field. It's only Colonel Steyn who can explain the times. You know, without testifying from the bar, there's a way they determine the time. They add 2 hours to the time that's shown here. So,
sorry, I'm sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
Your train of thought. Sir, are you referring to page 46?
Page 46, my lord.
Exhibit 02.
02, yes.
And you're referring to the time as what?
it's 4:57.
4:57.
Yes,
36 seconds.
4:57 and 36 seconds.
I think, my lord, the court was addressing me. Now we are both
Yeah,
of us
fine, okay.
understand.
But what is the date according to this affidavit?
Is the 26? Unfortunately, the 6 is not visible there, but is the 26.
Sorry, I don't know. Those, just say counsel must show with his pen, show you where which time is referring to, because
Yes,
I don't seem to find that.
it's the last block here, my lord. It's
Page?
page 46. This very last block.
Yeah, let's see counsel.
My lord, if one looks, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
If one looks on page 44 of the same exhibit,
No. Page 46 or page 44?
no, the objection that I'm raising,
Yeah.
I'm just taking the court to page 44.
To page 44, right?
Yes. There's an asterisk there. It says download summary,
That's it, yeah.
and it says remember plus 2 hours. So in other ways, you know, they're saying you must add 2 hours to the time that is being shown here. Hence I'm saying a lot, we're moving into a very technical field, and it's only Colonel Steyn who can come and explain this more.
So Colonel Steyn actually
Yes, we should not bind
gives you the key
this. Yes, we
as to what you should do.
indeed, Malo. We
Are you
shouldn't
saying then,
bind.
wait, are you saying then on the markings by counsel here,
Yes, one should actually add 2 hours.
add 2 hours,
Yes.
which meaning that the 6 hours and 4 minutes and 57.36
No.
seconds.
No, the 4:57.
Yeah,
If one adds 2 hours,
right.
will then be 6:57.
Are we agreed on that concept? If we add 2 hours.
As I'm saying, my lord,
Yeah, no, fine.
we
But
shouldn't bind this witness to this time.
yeah, fine. I hear you. Yeah. What's your thought? Because he says, Colonel Steyn says, from this estimated times, you must add 2 hours.
At
Do you
2
agree with
hours. I don't understand by the adding of 2 hours.
Just explain to your colleagues.
There's a technical way in
Yeah.
which the SMSs,
Downloading.
yeah, the SMSs and the terms reflected are interpreted, and he'll come and testify, my lord, that you, as is mentioned on page 44, that
Yeah.
you actually have to add 2 hours.
Okay, fine. You can continue, sir. Are you going to call Colonel Stein?
Indeed, my lord.
Yeah, fine, he's going to be called.
We did say so in our opening.
That's it, okay, fine.
But my lord, should I repeat the question?
Yeah, you can repeat it.
So, just to sum up, ma'am, the entry there says on the 26th, let me just read it verbatim. 2014/10/26, 04:57:36 p.m. You receive an SMS from Longwe, Twala, telling you that he was outside. You understand?
Lana ke ngalesi sikhathi nge-26 ka-October 2014 u-4:57 nama seconds awu-36 uthola ke le SMS ebuya kuLongwe ukutshela ukuthi ke ungaphandle.
Yebo i-SMS yafika wathi ungaphandle.
Yes, I received the SMS where he said that he was outside.
But what I want you to be clued up about is that it says that when you received that SMS, it was at 4:57:36 p.m.
My lord, we have just raised the objection. Are we really going to again belabor this point?
Okay, let the witness comment on that. Fine. Colonel Stein, as the expert, will perhaps have the final say.
Uthi ke akona ke akhomba kona ke ummeli ukuthi isikhathi ke wayithola ngaso le SMS ukuthi ke kwaku 3 minutes phambi ko 5:36 seconds emini.
Nakhona
Yeah.
into
Yes, sorry.
into engayisho ukuthi yebo i-SMS yafika into engekho sure ngayo ukuthi isikhathi sasithini.
What I can confirm is that yes, I received the SMS, but what I cannot be certain about is what the time was.
Yikho ngenza umzekelo ukuthi ilanga lona laseliyoshona kodwa la ingakashoni sasabonana.
Hence I made the example that the sun was about to set, but it hadn't set yet, and we were still able to see each other.
Okay.
I put it to you that the time that he arrived is the time that he sent you an SMS is the time that is reflected there.
As a practice, my lord, we object to that. And we said ad nauseam. This is the issue that only Colonel Stein can resolve. The witness doesn't have to respond to that.
Yeah, the witness has already explained, counsel, that they could see each other, but she knows that it was towards sunset.
Yes.
But what are you getting at with this? Because I thought there's no dispute about the fact that Longwe
Yes.
did in fact arrive there. She says she invited him for supper or lunch, whatever.
Yes,
And he came there.
yes, I'll leave it for argument later.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So you are trying to establish what?
The time that he had spent before the robbers arrived.
Yeah, put it to her, and then
Yes.
Stein can come and tell us
Yes,
the exact time according
yes.
to his expertise.
Yes, yes. Taking into account what Stein is saying in this affidavit, I put it to you that Longwe had spent about 3 hours before the two intruders arrived. I'm basing that on the fact that you yourself told this court that the intruders arrived before, after 2800 hours in the evening of the 26th of October 2014.
As a court, please, my lord, we object that submission will be misleading to the witness, and we are of the view that it's an unfair question.
Okay. Through the courts then, although I don't have to interject at this stage. What time did Longwe spend with your family on the 26th of October before the intruders arrived or got into the house?
Kwaba isikhathi esingakanani ke uLongwe awasichitha ke nomndeni wakho ngaphambilini kokuthi laba abawu2 ke abangenelela ke bafike bona.
Njengoba sengishilo ukuthi isikhathi sikalongo sokufika angisibhekanga. Kodwa engikwazi ukuthi ama-intruders afika makuya ko-8 kuya ko-8.
As I've already said that the time of Longwe's arrival I didn't take note of, but what I do know is that the intruders arrived around 8:08.
Okay, yes, counsel.
Yes. Can you describe Longwe for us? I don't know him. How was his height? Can you
ang-
describe Mr. Twala, Longwe Twala,
angimazi mina
with
uLongwe
regards to
ke.
his height?
Awumchazeke thina ke i-height yakhe.
engakusho ukuthi mude kunami mhlambe ngahle ukuthi i-average height.
What I can say is that he's taller than me. I can say he's got an average height.
What is your height?
Eyakho ithini?
Angikaze ngiyimede.
I've never measured myself.
How was his body built?
Ukwakheka komzimba ke waye kanjani?
Defined.
Defined.
Sorry?
Defined kusho ukuthi akanalo ifuthe emzimbeni.
It means that he doesn't have a fat on his body.
Unamamasilana nje.
He's got some little muscle.
So we'll say he's medium built.
Singathi nje uphakathi nendawo.
Kanjalo.
Something like that.
What is his complexion?
I-complexion yakhe
Brown.
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 In other words akamnyama akamhlophe futhi.
In other words, he's neither dark nor light.
Did he wear hats at the time that you knew him? Did he
Please,
wear hats?
ngenkathi ke wazana naye ngabe igqoko ebeyithwala yini.
Thanda amakepisi.
He liked caps.
Nothing else but amakepisi isikhathi esiningi bese kubhekisa ngemuva.
Nothing else but caps and most of the time, and his cap would be turned backwards or facing backwards.
Did he wear a hairstyle?
Wayene hairstyle awayenayo?
Cha unempandla.
No, he's got a bald head.
Shave head?
Uyayigunda.
Unempandla yikho egunda nasi la emaceleni kusale sekuba impandla yonke.
He would cut on the sides, but his whole head is just got a bald head.
Do you remember what he was wearing on that day, the 26th of October 2014?
Ingabe usakhumbula yini ukuthi ngaleliya langa ke lange 26 ka-October 2014 wayegqokeni?
Cha angisakhumbuli ngoba kwakungakubalekile.
No, I can't remember because it wasn't important.
At the time that you had known him, did he at some point had dreadlocks?
Ngalesikhathi umazi ngaso ngabe sikhona yini isikhathi enama dreadlocks khona?
Cha.
No.
Can you describe his face?
Ungachaza ubuso bakhe?
Unama facial hairs.
He's got facial hairs.
Sometimes unokuwagunda depending ukuthi uzizwa kanjani ngaleso sikhathi.
Sometimes he would shave them depending on how he would feel at that time.
Unama dimples.
He's got dimples.
Unamashiya nje futhi agcwele.
And he's got full eyebrows.
And then nama eyelashes athanda ukuba maningi futhi made.
And he's also got eyelashes that tend to be a lot or more, and they are long.
How about his eyes?
Amehlo akhe
Unamehlo adonsekile kancane lakathi awe China kodwa ayikakhulu.
his eyes are a little bit pulled. They would look like China's eyes, but not much.
Did he have a beard?
Wayenayo ke intshebe.
Njengoba sengichazile ukuthi unama facial hairs kodwa unokuwagunda depending ukuthi uzizwa kanjani.
As I've already mentioned that he had facial hairs, and he would shave them depending on how he feels or he would feel at the time.
But before he could shave them, would they go to his chin and the upper lip? Would they go around?
Kodwa ke ngaphambi kokuthi awagundeke ingabe mhlambi ebekekeleze ngalendlela ukukhaze ngayo ngaphambilini mhlambi ukuthi ke aze afike la esilevini futhi ke akekeleze umlomo.
Cha.
No.
Ngiyazi nje ukuthi bethanda ukushiya le ngaphansi.
All I know is that he would only leave the part on his chin.
Is it correct that, or before that, we'll now move to another aspect of my cross-examination. Is it correct that you made 3 statements, sworn statements, to the police about this incident?
Ngabe kuyiqiniso yini ukuthi neyitatimende ezintathu owazenza emaphoyiseni mayelana nalodaba?
Angisakhumbula ukuthi zingakho itatimende kodwa engikhumbulayo ziwu-2.
I can't remember as to how many statements I made, but those that I can remember are 2.
The State Council had provided us with 3 sworn statements by yourself.
Umshushisi-ke usinike thina-ke uma ngithi usinike ukhuluma ngaye bona-ke abameli iy'tatimende ey'ntathu zakho ey'fungelwe.
The first one is dated the 27th of October 2014 at 1400 hours.
Esoqala esangeyi-27 zika-October 2014 isikhathi ngo-2.
The second one is dated the 6th of November 2014 at 1300 hours.
Esesibili-ke esangeyi-6 zika-November ngo-2014 isikhathi ngo-1.
And the third and last one is dated 2018 0210 at 2000 hours 18 minutes.
Sorry,
That's
2018 02
10 at 2000 hours 18 minutes.
20. Esesithathu-ke nesogcina sona-ke sangeyi-2018 0210 isikhathi-ke ngoyimizuzu ewu-18 emva ko-8 ntambama.
Kungenzeka ukuthi kunjalo kodwa engikhumbulayo mina ziwu-2.
That's possible, but I can only remember 2.
The ones that you remember, when were they made? You
Lazy
remember
is
when
it-
were they made?
Oh, sorry.
Council, let's have progress. She's telling you that she remembers 2.
Yes.
She doesn't deny that she could have made a 3rd one.
Yes,
And you've already finished with the dates.
yes. No, thank you, thank you,
Where are we getting to with it?
thank you. I'll go through the first statement. The one which was made on the 27th of October 2014 at 1400 hours. It would have been the following day of the incident.
Ngizoya-ke kulesi owasenza-ke ngeyi-27 zika-October 2014 ukusho ukuthi ngelanga elilandelayo.
My lord, sorry, I see it's 1300 hours. I think it's
Oh, that's
convenient
okay.
that we take a long adjournment.
Okay, should we adjourn until what time?
2, my lord.
Okay, can we adjourn until 2?
that is over them on the basis that, Senzo Meyiwa had been frustrating her by what we can deduce from these SMSs that were read inside court. Now, these are SMSs in Zinga that investigators had downloaded. These are SMSs that had been sent by Kelly Khumalo to her sister, Zandile Khumalo, where she also says like she feels like God is sabotaging her, in this relationship that she has with Senzo Meyiwa. And you could clearly, from what was read inside court, deduce that, there'd been a frustration that Senzo Meyiwa could not choose between herself and Meyiwa's estranged wife, Mandisa. And in that, those SMSs basically give, what is believed, or what the defense wants to believe, is an account of a relationship that had gone sour between these two individuals. When Zandile Khumalo was asked by the defense what some of these SMSs meant at the time that they were sent, what she often drew inference to was to suggest that all relationships have their ups and downs, but as far as she was concerned, Senzo Meyiwa and Kelly Khumalo were in love. But, in other cross-examination as well, key to what she was cross-examined on was that you'd recall that Zandile Khumalo, in giving her descriptions of the accused that had come into, or the intruders that had come into the house at the time that Senzo Meyiwa was killed, she made reference to one of them being dark in complexion. But the defense says that Longwe Twala, who was then Zandile Khumalo's boyfriend, will come and testify in this court that, one of the intruders was actually light in complexion. Let's take a listen.
This is what Longwe will then continue to say. That he noticed that the two black guys, one was tall, light in complexion. Tall, light in complexion.
Okushoyo ke uLongwe ukuthi ke omunye waboke wambona ukuthi wayemude futhi ke light ke noma ekhanya ke ngecomplexion.
Now, before we get there, you've just given a description of the person that was in possession of the firearm. And what was your description of the other perpetrator, the one who had nothing, who you did not see anything in his possession?
Lona ke uqeda ichaza ke manje lo uthi wayephethe isibhamu, lo omunye ke wayengaphethe lutho yena. Uma umchaza uye wathini?
Ngithe mude okokuqala.
First I said is tall.
Mncane ngomzimba.
Small in build. Yeah.
Unentshebe ekekelezile kanje.
He had a mustache that goes right around his mouth.
Right.
Ngathi futhi ube ngemnyama engemhlophe kakhulu.
And that he wasn't dark and he was also not very light.
Thank you. Those were observations. Now Longwe would come and tell this court that the tall guy, according to the house, that is now according to his statement here, was light in complexion, and you're saying he was dark in complexion, not so?
uLongwe yena ke uma emchaza ke ngokwale statement esifundwayo ke ukuthi yena uzothi ke lo omude waye light wena uthi waye dark.
Okokuqala asiboni ngokufana.
Firstly, we don't see things the same.
Mina mangibuka leli bhodlela ngathi li light blue, ufike wena uthi li green. Indlela wena ubona ngayo nami indlela engibona ngayo.
The witness referring to the bottle that's right next to her, in front of her, that if I look at it, I would say that it is light blue. You would come and say that it is green. That is how you view or you see it.
So what you're saying is Longwe might have made a mistake in saying...
No, she's not saying that, please. She says...
Their observation.
Yeah, she says she's can't be expected to observe the things you're quoting for her. She has her own interpretation and observation, which she has told the court. That's why she says you may look at that bottle and you say, she says, I say it's light green, somebody says it's blue.
Someone will come and say it's turquoise.
Somebody says it's turquoise.
What will the other one say, my lord?
Turquoise, that's what he says. Turquoise. You don't know the turquoise color.
I'm hearing that term for the first time.
Is it?
As it please the court, my lord, but thank you. That will be what Longwe would come and tell this court. But further on, he made another statement. But let me just read it. Now, unfortunately, this statement is not numbered. But there's a paragraph that I'm going to read out there. I don't know, it's not numbered, but let me just read out. I think it will be eloquently interpreted. He says, in his latest statement, I noticed two guys getting inside the house. The one who came first was short, dark, having dreadlocks with cheekbones.
Uthi lana ke kulesi esinye sifundayo ke manje statement ngabona ke amadoda amabili amnyama engena endlini lona ke owayephambili ke noma oqala ke wayemfishane edark ka eneqhomo
And
dreadlocks.
And he was wearing a jacket that was between khaki or light brown in bracket beige.
Egqoke ke ijacket eyayingakhaki light brown noma beige.
He says he cannot remember his other clothing.
Okunye awayegqokile athi akakhumbuli.
He was followed by, immediately a tall one followed.
Waseke elandelwa omude.
He was wearing black hoodie.
Fake hoodie emnyama.
He was light in complexion.
Light noma ke ekhanya ngebala.
That is to say, he still emphasizes that the second suspect who got into the house was light in complexion.
Lana ke usagcizelela ke ukuthi lona omude waye light ngebala.
Angeke ngimphikise ngalokho. Ngenzeka into njengoba sihleli la maybe 50 eRomini. Kuya ngokuthi wena ubone ujike nini wayibona leyo nto futhi wayibona kanjani and futhi from which angle.
I wouldn't dispute it if that's what he's saying.
Yes.
It is possible that as we are seated in this room, there are about 50 of us, that you see something. When did you see it? How did you see it? From which angle? And when did you turn around to see it?
And futhi sonke singabona into eyodwa kodwa si experience ngeindlela ezihlukahlukene futhi eziningi.
We can all see the same thing, but experience it in different ways and many ways.
Well, Nzinga, also a crucial point that came across is that the defense also believes that there might have been some altercation that took place inside the house before Senzo Meyiwa was shot. What the defense says is that there's a witness who will come and testify that it was Dumelo Madlala who had told that witness that, Senzo Meyiwa had been shot. This was after there was an altercation between Zandile Khumalo as well as her then boyfriend Longwe Twala. This is something that Zandile Khumalo disputes. Let's take a listen.
This witness basically would come and tell this court, because the state is going to call him, will come and tell this court that on the date of the happening of this incident, he got a call from your sister Kelly.
Lo fakazi uzoza ke azotshela ke ngoba bazombiza ke azotshela inkantolo ukuthi ngelanga ekwenzeka ngalo isigameko lesi wathola ke ucingo olubuya udadewenu uKelly.
Unfortunately, as she tried to explain what was happening, there was a conversation breakdown. When they tried to call her back, they couldn't reach her.
Ngeshwa ke esachaza ke noma esazama ukuthi achaze ukuthi kwenzakalani kwase kukhona nje ukunqamuka ke kwinkulumo leyo yabo uma esezama ke ukuthi abuyele kuyena ke akazange amthole.
Subsequent, they then phoned Dumelo Madlala.
Base ke emuva kwalokho ke befonela yena uDumelo Madlala.
And Dumelo Madlala informed him, now this witness whose identity we would not disclose.
Wase ke uDumelo etshela lo fakazi lona engithi ke igama lakhe alichaziwe.
That Senzo has been hit by a bullet.
Ukuthi ke uSenzo ushaywe inhlamvu.
And this happened as Senzo was trying to intervene or separate a fight that was happening between yourself and Longwe.
Futhi ke lokho kwenzeka kathi ke uSenzo ezama ukuthi avimbeke noma ahlukaniseke ifight noma ukulwa ke okwakukhona phakathi kwakho kanye noLongwe.
That is the information that is contained in the statement. Do you have any comment, ma'am?
Iloko ke okukulesi statement ingaba khona yini ofisa ukusho?
Okokuqala mina noLongwe sasingalo.
Firstly, Longwe and myself were not fighting.
Sasi happy kabi mina noLongwe we were in a very good space.
We were very happy, myself and Longwe. We were in a very good space.
Kuze ngimeme ukuthi aze ekhaya lokho kuchaza ukuthi sase right mina naye.
For me to have invited him to come to my home,
yes.
That explains that myself and him, things were good between the two of us.
Yes.
So lesho yo manje hayi angiyazi.
So that which is being said now, I know nothing about.
All right, and Zinga, we're expecting at 2 o'clock when we return from lunch for SMSs that were downloaded between Longwe, Twala, as well as the current witness on the stand, Zandile Khumalo, to be read out in court. We understand that the defense will focus on SMSs that were sent on the date of the actual incident, which was the 26th of October back in 2014. Back to you in studio.
SABC News senior reporter Griselda Lewis really giving us insight into what took place in that case. Thanks so much for that, Griselda. And that's where we leave it for now. Your
Yes. Yeah. Yes, sir. Where's the witness? Still on the oath, ma'am?
Yes.
Understood, my lord.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord. I'll start with the first statement, the one that you made on the 27th of October, 2014 at 1400 hours.
Okay. This is on the 27th of October 2014. Iskati u2 yeah, so that's.
Okay, it is A number 13. My lord, I requested my colleague for the state to make copies available
Yeah, okay.
for the court. Yes. In fact, there are 3 statements.
It will be Exhibit P1, my lord.
P1. Okay. Yes, sir.
The statement was obtained by Detective Sergeant Bonelo Mkhize.
Detective Sergeant Bonelo Mkhize uyenake owathatha le statement kwena
At First Lawrence Police Station.
the police station as a First Lawrence.
I'm reading at the last page of the statement. On that day, ma'am, on the 27th of October 2014, how did you become aware that you were supposed to go to the police station?
Ngaleli langa 27 October 2014 wazi kanjani ukuthi kufanele uye police station
To write a statement?
ukuyonikeza noma ukuyobhala statement?
Sasitshelwe ekhaya endlini amaphoyisa ayefike khona ukuthi ngoba kwamanje nisaphazamisekile sicela ukuthi simlandile ngamaseli khona ilanga elandelayo ukuthi nize nizofaka statement.
The police that came to my home or to my house has informed us that for now we can see that you are disturbed, so we'll fetch you the following day to come and make or give statements.
In which language was the statement obtained?
Iliphi ulimi istatement esathathwa ngalo?
Njengoba ngibhekile la i-English.
As I'm looking here, it's English.
Kodwa mina mangikhuluma ngiyahlanganisa. I think futhi nibonile nase videoini ngikhuluma English la ngikhuluma isiZulu la.
But when I speak, I mix. I think you even saw on the video that I would speak English here and speak isiZulu there.
On completion of the statement, is it correct that you signed the statement?
Uma sesiqedwa ke istatement ngaba kuyiqiniso yini ukuthi wasigned?
Ukuthemba kwami abantu bomthetho yebo ngasayina.
In trusting the law officers, yes, I signed.
Is it correct that the signature that is appearing at the bottom of each page of Exhibit P1 is your signature?
Kwi-page nganye ke lapha ezansi iqiniso lokho ukuthi the signature ekhona laphayana ke eyakho.
Yebo, eyami i-signature.
Yes, it is my signature.
On completion of the statement, was it read back to you?
Uma seqeda ke umuntu owawu busy naye ke ngestatement lesi ngaba wakufundela yini lokho akubhalile phansi?
Angisakhumbuli kahle.
I can't remember well.
Why you had to sign the bottom of each page? Do you know?
Ngabe uyazi yini ukuthi kwakungani ukuthi enzansi ku-page ngayodwa ezansi usigned?
Anginaso isiqiniseko.
I don't have any certainty.
Was it not explained to you?
Awuzangichazela yini?
Into engayikholwa nje ukuthi mhlawumbe i-tradition.
What I just believe in, or what I just believe is that maybe it's tradition.
Njengasemabhenki moyo mhlawumbe uyofuna ikhadi nento ethile bese kuthiwa nanti iphepha sayina la noma initiala la.
Just as it happens when you go to the bank or banks, that you would, whether you want a card or whatever it is that you go for, you would be told here's a document, initial or sign here.
Ma'am, the significance of your signing is to the fact that you understand the contents of the statement. We have no objection in taking the prescribed oath, and the prescribed oath is binding in your conscience.
Ukusayinda noma ke uma usayinda ke into ishoyo ngalokho ukuthi ke uyavuma ke ukuthi lokhu okulana ke uyavumelana nakuthi kuyiqiniso futhi ke awunankinga ke ukuthi ungakufungela lokho nokuthi leso sifunga ke esithathayo ke kuyisifungo ke esikophezelayo ke kudembeza wakho.
Ngiyabuzwa.
I hear you.
Yes. But the defense is going to request that the witness, that is Detective Sergeant Sibonelo Mkhize, be called.
Sizomcela ke lo muntu lona owayekubhalela lesi statement yake noma leli phoyisa leli uSibonelo Mkhize ukuthi naye kabizwe njengofakazi.
Since you are saying that you cannot remember if it was read back to you.
Nanjengoba usho ukuthi awusakhumbuli ukuthi wakufundela yini.
Makuhle lokho ngakujabule.
I would be happy, that would be good.
My Lord, I intend to go to the next statement because I intend to use them interchangeably.
Okay.
The next statement is the one that you made on the 6th of November 2014 at 1300 hours.
Esesibili ke istatement engifuna ke ukubonisa sona ke lesi owasenza nge-6 sika November 2014 ngo-1 isikhathi.
It is A59.
My Lord, it will be Exhibit P2.
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 Yeah.
Exhibit P2 was obtained on the 6th of November 2014 at 1300 hours. It was obtained by Detective Sergeant Boy Steve Tagule at 231 Francis Bart Street in Pretoria.
Lesi ke sona ke senziwa nge-6 zika November 2014 ngo-1 isikhathi uyo Detective Sergeant Boy Steve Tagula at 231 Francis Bart Street corner la ePitoli.
Ma'am, I see that the said statement, Exhibit P2, is documented in English. In which language were you using?
Naso ke lesi ngiyasibona ukuthi sibhalwe ngaso isingisi, wawusebenzisa luphi ulimi?
Njengoba sengichazile phambilini ukuthi ngiyahlanganisa ngikhuluma.
As I've already explained that I mix when I speak.
On completion of the statement, was it read back to you?
Uma sesiqedwa ke ubhalwa wasifundelwa yini?
Njengoba ubusubuzile phambilini ukuthi zingaki i-statement engiyikhumbulayo. Ngikutshela ngathi ngikhumbule imbili zakhona. Esisodwa kuyilesi sokuqala sange-27, esesibili ilesi sango-February 2018. Lesi angisasikhumbuli kahle.
Okay. So February 2018, ne? As you've already asked me previously, and I told you that I can only remember two statements. The first one being the one of the 27th of October 2014, and the second one being that of February 2018. This one I cannot recall.
Is the signature that is appearing at the bottom of each page of Exhibit P2 your signature?
No signature lapha, page 9 ezansi. Yeah.
Eyami signature mpela.
Yes, the signature is indeed mine.
So you can now remember that indeed there was a statement that you made on the 6th of November 2014.
Bengichazile ngathi angisakhumbuli.
I did say that I cannot recall.
So kusho ukuthi lokho mhlambe yebo kwakukhona senzeka statement kodwa angisakhumbuli.
It means yes, that it happened, but I cannot recall.
Lastly, we will go then to the one you said you made in the year 2018, sorry. It was made on the year 2018, 0210 at 2000 hours, 18 minutes.
Okugcina ke sizoya kuleso okhuluma ngaso ke kodwa uyasikhumbula ke esango February 2018 nge 10 kwinyanga yesibili isikhathi ngo 18 minutes past 8 ebusuku.
To be Exhibit P3.
Okay.
It was obtained by Lieutenant Colonel M.J. Sithole.
Lieutenant Colonel M.J. Sithole ke umuntu owayibhala lesi statement.
At Fort Loras. In which language was this statement, that is Exhibit P3, obtained?
So na ke lesi kwakulokhu ulimi olasetshenziswa noma olusebenzisa la.
Kuyafana nakhona English nesiZulu. Mangibuza umbuzo ngikhuluma isiNgisi, ngikhuluma isiZulu whenever I see fit.
It's the same, it's English and isiZulu. When a question is being asked, I would speak English, I would speak isiZulu whenever I see fit.
Was it read back to you?
Wasifundelwa yini?
I think ngiyakhumbula kancane yebo.
I think I remember a bit, yes.
Is the signature that is appearing at the bottom of each page of Exhibit P3 your signature?
Futhi ke i-signature eyibonayo lapha ku page 9 eyakho.
Eyami signature.
Yes, it is my signature.
I will now move on for the exercise of asking you some questions. I'll start with Exhibit P1.
Sokubuza ke manje imibuzo ngizoqala ngalesiyana ke esokuqala.
I'll commence my questioning on paragraph 2 of Exhibit P1.
Paragraph 2.
It reads as follows, and I quote, on 2014-10-26 at about ±1600 hours 30, I, open bracket Zandile, close bracket, Mthogo, Kelly, and Senzo left Soweto to Mthogo's place at Sprayed to change his clothes.
Ifundeka ngalendlela ke
Close quotation.
Go 26 October 2014 isikhathi ke ±16:30 or 4:30 mina uZandi Mthogo uKelly noSenzo saphuma ke noma sahamba ke eSoweto siya kulo Mthogo Sprayed uMthogo eyoshintsha impahla.
You'll remember, ma'am, that when the legal representative for accused number 1 and 2 asked you a question, whether you know why you had to go to Mthogo's place, you said you don't know what was the reason. You saw him coming back and he had changed his clothes. Do you recall that?
Ingabe uyakhumbula yini ubuzwa imibuzo uyena ummeli kaMsolo wokuqala nowesibili ukuthi kwakuyini ebangela ukuthi niye kulo Mthogo wathi wena ke wawungazi kodwa uma esebuya ke wambona eseshintshile?
Yebo ngiyakhumbula lokho.
Yes, I remember that.
Is what you responded when you were asked by the legal representative for accused number 1 in line with what is contained in this paragraph.
Ingabe leyo mpendulo leyo onikeze ngayo ke loqeda uthi manje uyayikhumbula ukuthi iyahambisana yini nalokho okubhaliwe la?
According to mina iyahambisana because okokuqala mesifika lapha bengazi ukuthi siyaphi, angaze ngiye kwaMthoko kodwa ngambone sebuye seshintshile, so nga-assume ukuthi kusho ukuthi ubeyoshintsha, so noma sengibhala istatement sami ngizosho ukuthi ubeyoshintsha ngoba ngimbonile sebuye seshintshile.
According to me, yes, it is in line because when we went there, I didn't know as to what was the reason, but and I've never been to Mtoko's house, but when I saw him coming back, I saw that he had changed his clothes. So even if I was then writing my statement, I would then say that he had gone to change his clothes, because when he came back, I saw him having changed his clothes.
Let us move on to paragraph 6 of Exhibit P1. It reads as follows, and I quote, "While we were watching soccer, Senzo and Kelly walked to Spaza shop to buy mad lemon and soup. After 2 minutes, they came back." Close quotation.
Sathi ke sisabuke isoka uSenzo kanye noKelly base behamba ke beya estolo beyothenga imed lemon kanye nesoup, emuva ke ku 2 minutes babuya.
You understand that?
Uyakuzwa lokho?
Ngiyakulandela.
I follow you.
My understanding, ma'am, was that when Kelly and Senzo, the deceased, left to the tuck shop was at the time when you had also went out to meet Longwe Twala.
Mina ke ngokulandela kwami ukuthi ngalesikhathi uSenzo umufi sorry kanye naye uKelly behamba beya estolo, ilesikhathi nawe ke owaphuma ngaso uyohlangana kanye noLongwe.
Yebo kunjani?
Yes, that's correct.
What is contained in that paragraph? That is paragraph 6. Is it in line with your evidence in chief?
Lokho okubhalwe la ingabe kuyahambisana yini naloko okushilo kubufakazi bakho?
Yebo.
Yes.
According to me kuyahambisana.
According to me, it is in line.
I tend to disagree, but I'll leave that for argument.
Mina ke angivumelani nawe kodwa ke ngizokuyeka ke manje. Mase sokwethula kwenziwa ithulo ke ngizokuveza enkantolo.
I will go to paragraph 7. It reads as follows, and I quote, "As we were watching soccer, Dumelo went out, smoked outside the house, and he was joined by Ntogo, Senzo, and Kelly. They stood outside and chatted." Close quotation.
Sisabheke njalo ke isoka uTumelo waphuma ke waya ngaphandle eyobhema ngaphandle kwendlu, waye wajoinwa ke uMthoko, uSenzo kanye noKelly babemi ngaphandle bexoxa.
Into engifuna ukuyichaza la ukuthi umuntu uma umxoxela into umtshela ukuthi kwenzakaleni kanjani, sometimes unokuyi-summarize into angasho ama-details, but ngoba nanti ithuba nginalo la ecourt yikho bengena kuma-details.
I just want to say this, that when you convey something to somebody, the person would or a person then summarizes and not go into detail. But now, because I have the opportunity, I'm here in court, I then went into detail.
I put it to you, ma'am, that your evidence in chief is not in stark contrast with what is contained in that paragraph, paragraph 7.
Okushilo
You want me to remind you?
Mina ke ngizothi kuwena ke okushilo uma nkathi ke unikeza ngobufakazi bakho kuyinhloko khona la enkantolo, buya ngubuzana ke noma buyaphikisana ke nalento ebhalwe la, nami ufisa ukuthi ngikukhumbuze yini?
Hayi angivumi.
I disagree.
In what respect?
Kanjani?
Into engiyibonile iyona le ngizele ukuzoyikhuluma la enkantolo, futhi engikushilo enkantolo kuyahambelana nalokho okubhalwe la.
What I saw is that which I came to convey here in court, and what I said is in line with that which is written here.
Noma ama-details amanye engekho kangakanani engekho clear, but yikho bengila ecourt ukuthi ngizocacisa.
Although the details is not much clear, but that is why I am here in court to explain.
I took one of Tumelo's crushes and I hit the second suspect. Close quotation.
uSenzo wayelwa elwela isibhamu with kanye naye umsolwa ngase ngithatha ke icrash eyodwa noma enye yamacrash kaDumelo ngashaya ngayo umsolwa wesibili.
Before you respond, ma'am, I'll read that paragraph in conjunction with paragraph 11 of Exhibit P2. P2, yes.
Uthi uzoyifunda ke ahlanganise kanye naye ke paragraph 11 la.
Paragraph 11 of Exhibit P2 reads as follows. I was standing next to Dumelo at that moment, and I grabbed his walking stick and hit the suspect on the head. Close quotation.
Uthi ke ngangime eduze kwakhe uDumelo ngaleso sikhathi leso ngase ngithatha ke khuluma ngayo ke crash stick sakhe sokuhamba ngashaya ke umsolwa ekhanda.
You remember, ma'am, that you told this court in your evidence in chief that you could not hit one of the intruders because you are short and there were persons who were in between you and the intruder.
Uzokhumbula ke kubufakazi bakho ukuthi ushilo ukuthi awuzange ukwazike noma uphumelele ekuthini umshaye umsolwa ngoba wena umfishane futhi ke kwakunabantu ababimi phakathi kwakho kanye naye.
Yebo ngikushilo lokho futhi mangigcizelela lapho igama elilodwa la elishodayo utry.
Yes, I said that.
Eshayile yebo kodwa kwa angangafinyelela.
I said that yes, but there is, if I were to emphasize here, there's one word that is missing. It is the word try. Yes, I hit, but I couldn't reach.
And vele I was aiming for the head.
And indeed, I was aiming for a head. Noma ke ngangihlose ukumshaya ekhanda.
But it is not saying that on paragraph 11. Specific, you hit that person on the head. I'll leave that for argument later.
Sike uzokuyekelela kodwa ikona ke okushiwo lokho lapha obhaliwe lapha.
Let us go to paragraph 16 of Exhibit P1. It reads as follows. During that moment, the first gun shot went out and hit the kitchen door, and the other shot went out and hit the floor. I then ran to the bathroom, and Dumelo went to my mother's bedroom. Close quotation.
Ngaleso sikhathi ke wasesiqhuma ke isibhamu okokuqala sashaya isivalo sasekitchen sasesiqhuma ke futhi okwesibili sashaya phansi isibhamu ngase ngibaleka ke ngiya ebathroom uDumelo yena wabaleka waya ekamreni kama.
You remember, ma'am, that you told this court that there is one shot which was fired in your presence, the one that hit the floor, and two shots were fired whilst you were hiding in the bathroom. You confirm that?
Uzokhumbula ke ukuthi uthe kubufakazi bakho nkathi usekitchen isibhamu saqhuma kayi1. Uma sesiqhuma kwesibili nokwesithathu lokho kwenzeke nkathi ucashe ebathroom.
Ngiyakhumbula lokho.
I remember that.
But that is not what paragraph 16 of Exhibit P1 is saying. One shot in your presence is fired through the door. Sorry, not through the door, to the direction of the door.
Kodwa ke ayisikona okubhaliwe lana ukuthi ishot eyodwa ke idutshuliwe ke iya ngasesivalweni.
I think mase ngenza lesi statement ingoba mhlambe ngase ngihlanganisa neobservation missing bull.
I think when I made this statement was then I was now including together with the observation on my way back or when I was coming back.
Mase sibuye esibhedlela.
Or when we were coming back from hospital.
No. That is not correct.
Counsel, just tell me, are you disputing that a gun was fired? Because look, this case, if I understand the cross-examination, there's no dispute so far which has been put to this witness that this incident never happened.
Yes.
Meaning the entrance or of the two so-called intruders, and that there were shots fired, and that there was a fight. That one shot was fired in the kitchen and two were fired in the bedroom. How does it materially affect the essence of this witnesses?
There's further evidence, my lord.
But how does it materially affect it?
In the totality of the evidence that is going to be presented.
No, we are not yet there. She says she was mixing Zulu and English. Have you heard of a case called State versus Mafaladiso?
I've read.
Have you heard of that case?
Yes, yes.
Please have that in mind when you're cross-examining this witness, because as I'm listening to the evidence as it unfolds, it appears there's no dispute about the fact that there were two intruders. Maybe
Yes.
there could be a dispute about the identity of the intruders, but that there were two intruders who got in and shot, or a shots was fired, and there was fighting. I mean, it's common cause. Is that not so?
It is so, but the difficulty, my lord, that I'm having, I do understand
What's
the
the
court's concern.
difficulty?
It says that two shots are fired. It's not in dispute that shots were fired. But where I'm having a challenge, two shots, according to the statement, are fired in her presence. Vis-a-vis his evidence in chief, her evidence in chief, that one is fired in her presence, two are fired in the bathroom. So there is, the credibility issue there.
I see. And she also said she thought there were three shots, and I'm listening carefully, and she said two of the latter two shots were not as loud as the first one. And we're going to argue about that now. Let's argue about that also. Because she says the first shot was loud, and the two subsequent shots when she was crouching in the bathroom were not that loud.
In fact, it's another way around.
Is that so?
Two were loud, the other one was not louder than the two first ones.
So which was the loudest, according to her?
The two first shots.
The two first shots?
Yes.
Let me ask you, counsel here.
She says the first shot in the kitchen was louder, and the subsequent was also louder, but the third one was the one that was not loud.
Fine.
In its own.
But what I'm trying to get at, why would we split hairs about the loudness of the shots? We should also interrogate that. Why does she say the first one was loud and the second one was loudest or milder? That's what I'm getting at.
I'm failing to understand to answer that one, but we can, I can canvass it from the witness.
Okay, fine. Yes, continue then.
There was an issue, my lord, of time that was raised, 2:30. I see it's 1400 hours 30.
No, fine, we'll adjourn at 2:30 then. But you know what, maybe I should get this from all counsels. Has it been disputed that there was an interaction by two unknown persons whilst the witness and her family, Senzo, the deceased, Dumelo, Longwe, and Khumalo were having a meal? Thereafter, as they were watching soccer, and Kelly was just about to tell a joke, and then two persons burst into. Is there a dispute about that? It's different if you say there's a dispute, that no two intruders got into the house. Then, of course, you've got to delineate the circumstances of how the fight was. I mean, that maybe even the deceased was not shot in the house. Yet nobody is saying that in the cross-examination, as I'm following the cross-examination.
Unfortunately, I'm not finished.
No, I'm talking about the defense itself.
Excluding number 5, my lord.
Hello?
Excluding number 5.
No, you have not stood up yet.
Thank you, my lord.
But first, second, and unless you are going to say that.
I'm not done with my cross-examination.
Okay, but
Yes.
the first two counsels, Mr. Mnisi and Rampesele, they never said there were no two persons who entered the room. There were no shots fired. Well, there's a difference. There could have been 2 shots or 3 shots, and one was loud and one wasn't loud. And this witness can't describe what a firearm looks like because he doesn't know. And you read him a statement of Longwe who says it was a 38. What is this case about, actually? That's what I'm getting at. Yes, Mr. Minister, you want to venture?
I'm not so sure. What is this case is all about? On whose side? Because there are
No,
two
every
sides.
side.
There's a
I'm just
state and
listening
there's a defense.
to the crux of the evidence as to how Mr. Senzo
Yes.
is allegedly shot.
Madam, basically, we are here to demonstrate this
Yeah.
concept
Yes,
for the defense.
yes.
That the gentlemen that you're representing here were not involved in whatever allegations that
No,
are
no
raised
problem.
against them by the
I've
state.
got no
Yes.
problem with that.
Yes.
Because you have given your defense version that your client was not there. Is that not so? Yourself.
Yes, madam.
That's it.
Yes.
And even your colleague there gave a version that his client was not there. Is that not so, sir?
Indeed, so, my lord.
Right. Now, here's this witness. He describes that people came in and they did X, Y, Z. I'm saying I haven't heard anyone saying there were no intruders in the house. That shots were fired in the house or a shot was fired in the house. Because if you're a defense counsel, I would expect you to say, I put it to you that there were no intruders who went into the house and there were no shots fired inside the house. I haven't heard that. Mr. Baloi, am I maybe?
It's still coming with
Oh,
the
it's still
case number
coming.
5,
Okay,
my lord.
okay,
Can-
fine.
Can we just pause here
Yeah, okay,
until
okay.
I start my case? my
It's still
lord?
coming with
Yes,
you.
it's still
Fine,
coming
fine.
with me.
I'm just saying the counsels I've listened to so far,
1 to 4.
up to now, maybe after when he comes back, the counsel for the fourth,
Yes, yes.
you will put
Yes,
something.
I'm definitely not done. Thank
I
you.
do?
I'm not done, my lord. I'm not
Okay.
done with my cross-examination.
Okay, fine,
Yes,
fine.
yes. Thank you.
But have you said that, Mr.
For us,
Rapper?
basically, my lord, it's an issue of identification.
Yes, 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 no problem.
That's our difference.
No problem.
Identification only.
I'm not talking about identity. I'm talking about the fact that 2 intruders got into the house. Are you disputing that?
I wasn't privy to that. I don't know.
No. You've got a statement from
Yes.
the client to say I wasn't there.
Yes.
So it means you are disputing that, or what? Are we on the same level?
We are on the same level. We are on the same level.
So you say there were not 2 people who got into the house, isn't it? Is that what your instructions are? See? Are those your instructions?
No,
How should
no.
be here the whole year? Are your instructions that no 2 people intruded into the sanctity of the house of the Khumalos?
If my lord listened to our case, they say
Yeah.
they were not there. So
No,
the
your
type-
clients were not there. That
yes,
I've heard.
yes.
The question is, are you further saying no 2 people entered the house of the Khumalos? That's all I'm...
That's the bottom line. If I say identification and then we are not there, obviously they are saying presupposition is that there were not 2 intruders, my lord.
But why didn't you put it there? You cross-examined the whole day the
Yes,
other day.
yes.
You never put it to this witness that no 2 people entered the house of the Khumalos. You never had any dinner or lunch. Makumalo never cooked soup for Longwe. I'm listening
Yes.
and I'm saying, so the evidence so far, which has been put to this witness, is about identification. No problem about it.
Yes, but that was the version according to
Yeah,
Stash's
fine.
melody. That was the
And
version
your
according
client's
to our
version
station.
is he was arrested in
Yes,
Rustenburg,
yes,
taken to Carltonville.
yes.
In other words, he wasn't there
He wasn't there.
on the 26th of
Yes,
October,
Yes,
2014.
yes.
So he can't tell this court whether the 2 people intruded or not.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's difficult.
That's
for
the
me to
same with
understand.
you, Mr.
Yes.
Nisi.
That is so, my lord. Whether
Fine.
there were 3 or 5 or 100, we don't know.
That's it, yeah. That's why now when we come to delineation of whether there were 2 shots, 3 shots, one was louder than the next one, How does it assist this court in coming to solving this conundrum? Are you with me?
Yes, we
And I'm not stopping you from cross-examining. You see, if your colleague says to me, like he's saying, there are 3 statements. In one statement, this witness says, I wasn't there, I was in KZN on the 26th of October, 2014. All we're arguing about is they went outside to go and smoke, and I came back. I don't know how it takes this matter further. So what I'm requesting is that counsel must cross-examine so that we know what the defense is. Okay.
Yes, it is the court, my lord.
Because at the moment, I know what the version of the counsels are, no problem. But what we don't know now, as I'm listening, is that it was never put to this witness that there were no intruders in the house. You're correct to argue about the, and you mustn't get me wrong, you're correct to ask questions about the distinguishing features of the so-called 2 intruders who went there. No problem with it. But after you have done all that, no one of you says these 2 so-called unknown people ever entered the house. I know maybe by logic, if this witness cannot describe who went into the house, certain consequences follow, obviously. Okay. So, sir, are you going to continue on Monday?
On Monday?
Do you want to continue up to 3 o'clock today?
No, on Monday.
Now, let's finish at 3. Where's the gentleman who transports the lady? Who transports the, can we leave at 3?
No, the problem is the
Oh, okay, fine.
outside the province.
Oh, all right, fine.
Some
Fine.
6-7 hours from here.
Okay. Okay, you're coming on Monday, I'm told. Okay, we shall adjourn until Monday then. Okay, we'll adjourn.